Ise. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra Hausa service coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu from Olu province of Biafra land, and we are here live and direct. Today is the 3rd day of January 2023. We are not going to be going back. Today is the 3rd, 3rd of January 2023. Tabo Obochinkwo. Therefore, I welcome each and every one of you to welcome your friends and well-wishers, even your enemies, onto this hallowed platform, where we preach the gospel of emancipation, the gospel of freedom, the gospel of liberation. Therefore, do not shy away from listening to this hallowed platform. Do not deny your friends and well-wishers, even your enemies. Call them wherever they are. Set aside your enmity and urge them to listen to this hallowed platform. Here we expose things that you can never hear in the mainstream media. Things that are hidden to the public. But all these things are things that makes people advance, nations advance. Because thou shalt know the truth, and the truth shall make you free, shall set you free. When you know the truth, not when you hear the truth. There is a difference between knowing something. You know, a doctor knows how to perform his operations, surgical operations. He knows it. That is knowing, not hearing. When you hear the truth, I've been reiterating this, you have to make extra effort in order to know the truth, to know it. Once you know the truth, now it is that time that the truth shall set you free. Without knowing the truth, it doesn't matter you hear the truth or you believe the truth, it doesn't matter. But once you believe the truth, knowledge, now that time the truth shall set you free. Therefore, once again, I welcome each and every one of you to today's edition on Radio Biafra Hausa service, coming to you through Radio Biafra London. Our leader is the indefatigable Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is still in the enemy dungeon, albeit he's being released by the court of law, court of competent jurisdiction, the Nigerian court. So for you to understand that Nigeria never obeys their own law. There is no rule of law in Nigeria. For all and sundry to hear and understand, our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned illegally. He was renditioned from Kenya. He is in possession of British passports. He is a naturalized citizen of Britain. But Nigeria connived with Kenya under the blessing or British blessing and encouragement and support. They renditioned a man that is engaged in a legitimate activity of self-determination under the United Nations Charter. He was renditioned. And since more than 1 year and 6 months, until today, Britain, who supposedly is the purveyor or at the forefront of rule of law in the world, lecturing nations and peoples about the rule of law, about the respect for the rule of law. But Britain kept mute. They aren't doing anything about it. Instead, what their British High Commissioner said that they are going to, or we are rendering consular services as a citizen, as a British citizen, to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as if he is a criminal. Do you see the world we are in today? Let me tell you that nothing will stop us from what we are doing. It doesn't matter whether heaven falls, because we have understood the dynamics of this world. You have to fight for your rising up. It should come from you, from us. Nobody can do it for us except us. This is a world of exploitation, a world of injustice, a world where what matters first, number one issue, is interest. That is what matters. What matters is interest. That is one thing that matters first. What is going to be the benefit of the country? Let me remind you of these historical facts. Have you asked yourself, after the Second World War, why were only the German war criminals were prosecuted and many sentenced to death? What about the Japanese? Have you taken your time to ask yourself this? You know, we go to history and bring you historical facts in order to substantiate what we preach here on Radio Biafra. After the Second World War, the Nuremberg trial by the United Nations, by the Allied forces, sentenced many German war criminals to death, mostly by hanging. Some of them even swallowed the cyanide and died before being executed. But the case of Japan was not the same. Do you know why? Do you know why? Let me tell you. Japan engaged after the conquest of some Asian countries like Philippines, I think Thailand also among. Japan took over all those places and they were involved in using human beings as guinea pigs for chemical and biological warfare, including prisoners of wars, POWs. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Japan was using prisoners of wars, including American prisoners of wars, and even citizens of Chinese citizens, because I think Japan overtook where they call Manchurian in China, overtook part of China during the Second World War. They were using the civilians in order to develop biological warfare materials. And they are using those human beings as guinea pigs on different types of laboratory sicknesses. You know? Now, after the Japanese defeat of 1945, they couldn't. They stopped prosecuting Japanese scientists with the condition that all those data, all those study materials should be handed over to United States of America. And General Douglas MacArthur, yes, that's his name. He was the person that negotiated all these deals in order to exclude Japanese scientists mostly from prosecution of any kind. And do you know the reason? So that they keep quiet, they quietly handed over the whole materials, research materials, to the United States, and nothing to the Soviet Union, so that they keep quiet and Soviet Union will not know anything about it. So do you see what I tell you? There is nothing like justice in this world. What matters is what you can gain, your interests as a people. It's very unfortunate that in Nigeria, in Africa, mostly people are taking advantage of their personal interests. I'm not talking about personal interests, national interests. That is what I mean. And today, America used all those knowledge from Japan. Very deadly diseases. That time, Japan was even, they were dropping bombs filled with tsetse flies that bite people and transmit all these deadly disease that we are brewed up in the laboratory. That is the world we are in today. And America kept quiet till today. They kept quiet about, trying or hanging war criminals as defeated people. No, they didn't do it because their interests with all those study materials, research materials, outweighs the vendetta of trying and hanging individual war criminals. So they said, to hell with it. We have our knowledge. And it added to the knowledge of America in chemical and biological weapons. You understand? That is the war we are in today. That is why we should understand that the liberation, our own liberation, should come from us, not from outside forces. Because outside forces want us to perish and leave our land for them. It is to their interest for us to perish, for us to be exterminated, and leave our land for them. Our land is filled up with mineral resources of different types and kinds. Some you don't know even, we don't know. But they know. So, it is the noise, the collective noise that we are making, the efforts we are putting in, consistent efforts, that we shake the world, shake the conscience of the world, of the good people of the world. People that sees, or that we see our suffering more than what their countries can gain or is gaining. Imagine America being at the forefront of looting, stealing oil from Biafra land. Can you imagine? What was seen, known, only the crude oil that went to America. America alone, United States of America, is almost $20 billion worth. The one that is seen, that has records. These are the people these are individual Americans and other Nigerians, politicians, connected people that were aided and abetted by American government, American banks. The government closed their eyes because the money, everything is coming to them. That is what I'm telling you. I want you to understand the world we are living in. I want you to understand. Because sometimes in our land, they will tell you to, oh no, how you will be Chineke. We'll be in the church. Chineke. But the people that brought you church, they are heartless in dealing with us. They want us all to perish. Look at what is going on in our land. Have you ever had it the way it should be outside, ricocheted? No? Have you ever had it? Have you ever had, even religious people or religious leaders talking about it? World religious leaders. Look at massacres upon massacres in our land. Look at the Fulani terrorist onslaught in every part of Nigeria. Every part. I say both north, west, east, south. All. Why is the world not taking action as supposed to? That is the question I want you to know. I want you to ask yourself. Because the Fulani promised them and is giving them their interest on us, using us, using what is in our land, giving it to these people, developed countries, advanced countries, powerful countries, using what is in our land in order to buy favor from them, to lobby against us so that these powerful countries want us all dead. I don't know whether people are, you should, I'm giving you a glimpse. This is 2023. Although this is a human calendar, which is normal, because in a world there should be an order. I am giving you a synopsis, a glimpse of how the world is, so that you don't think that the world, there is no conscience. The conscience of the world is the interest and nothing more. So that you understand that you need to double your efforts in order for us to liberate ourselves. Nobody can do it for us. You understand me? Therefore, today, as I put out in my platform, Facebook platform, I'm going to elaborate more on the teachings, New Year Day teachings of our Lolo, our First Lady, Lolo Uchechi Kanu. She talked about critical thinking. Do you understand? And she mentioned about the frontal lobes of the brain. So I'm going to talk about stimulating and restoring enlightened mindsets. That's it. We should understand that the world we are in, there is no pity. You know, if you are going on the road, for example, I saw on Facebook one time, somebody videoed it, a python wrapped around a dog, and they tried to remove the dog because it's a house pet, and they finally dislodged the dog. But do you know what that means? They deprived the python of its food, because that is the rule of the world. Had it been, for example, when you see a lion pursuing a zebra, it's pathetic, painful, emotionally, sentimentally, but that is the rule of the world. You see how the dog will devour a zebra or a deer, and the deer will be shouting and crying. It is painful when you record it emotionally, but it is natural because the dog has to feed. When you deprive the dog, the python, of their food because of sentiments, which means you are indirectly killing the dog. That, oh, you pity the prey, whereas you kill the lion, which is not normal. So what we should do is to strive to come up to be not the prey. You understand? But the powerful animal. The powerful animal that is preying on weaker ones. That is always what we should strive for. Not being, oh, pity us now. Look at us. Why is not America talking? Vatican City. Oh, the Vatican, they don't talk about us. Whereas we are Christians. We wear tie and carry big Bible and quote and baptize. Nobody gives a damn. I want to start this 2023 for your information, because it's part of this enlightenment. For you to understand the true picture of the world we are in. We are in a world of exploitation, where what matters most is interest. But it is a pity that in Nigeria, people are talking about their own personal interests. They are interested in their own personal interest to the detriment of our collective interests in our land. Very, very sorry. Therefore, let me just go through just very few news headlines. I don't want to be long. I don't want to be long in this today's message, please. Now, some of the news headlines I should say, although before I do that, there is something our HOD said, which I want to reiterate, please. Administratively, he talked to the national coordinators everywhere in the world, IPOB national coordinator. It's an order. He said that you don't have no person, no from finance, or have to call you in a meeting. Come, you know. He said before you go to that meeting, because that is not the jurisdiction, you need to take permission from your continental rep, because you are not answerable to any other person apart from the continental rep, the DOS. That is the hierarchy of the structure of IPOB. No person, he mentioned this, he said finance department should not call, coordinators to meetings in order to dish out orders or directives. This is against our ethics. Before, if you are contacted for any meeting of such, you have to inform the continent, your continental rep, and say, look at, they want me, the financial department wants me to hold a meeting with them. So what do you think? What should I do? So that you receive order. You understand me? That is an order from the DOS, from the HOD on January 1st, day before yesterday. That is it. And for your information, there is nothing like IPOB youth wing. Ima na fight and then menu this side, hashi the other side, and there is nothing like IPOB youth wing. IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, is under one central command by our leader at the head. We have our structure. There is nothing like IPOB youth wing. There is something that the zoo is trying to do. They say that, look, what the zoo is doing is this, for your information, that it is now or never. Therefore, we must buckle up. If we are 50% before, we should, triple it to 150%. Our fight. What, they say that this is now or never. As our leader is in their hands. Now they have to bring up, play anything, throw us anything in order to dismantle IPOB. It doesn't matter how many they killed. That is not their problem. The main problem of the caliphate is IPOB. To dismantle IPOB, that is what they are doing. That is their plan, and that is what they are doing. So that they will spread out one press release, IPOB youth wing, as they have youth wing of Ohanes and Nibo. So they will spread another youth wing IPOB press release. Before you know it, they bring confusion everywhere. No, it is not us. There is nothing like IPOB youth wing. Oh no, no, quite. Are you hearing it? For you not to come tomorrow and say, but I know IPOB youth wing. There is nothing like IPOB youth wing. Because we understand their plan. When you cut a snake, the head of a snake, it will continue wriggling. The deadly wriggling is more. That is what Nigeria is. That is the way they are behaving. They are throwing in there because they were being assured that once they renditioned our leader, now their sleeper cells in IPOB, what you are seeing today, they will activate it and they will do the job, and IPOB will collapse. When IPOB leadership gives one order, others, there are people that are meeting politicians and assuring them that, look, we will deliver. Don't worry, we will deliver. Let me tell you, it is we, the Igbos, that are you bringing the frying pan to cook ourselves. I'm telling you. Do not forget, during the Biafra Revolutionary War of 1967 to 1970, the people that encouraged to go on to stay and fight, they are the Igbos on the Nigerian side. People like Okpa Biasika, many of them. Do you understand? When Murtala Mohammed Kolum was being decimated at Abagam, the man escaped and thousands of Nigerian soldiers and materials were destroyed. Murtala Mohammed went back to Lagos, Jordan Barracks, and called Gawan and said, hey, please let us negotiate with Ojukwu. Don't worry. We don't know what they are fighting with. It is a known fact. But it is people like Okpa Biasika and other Igbos that are fighting on the side of Nigeria that kept saying, no, don't do that. I know these are my people. I know them. Don't worry. It is the same thing that they are doing today. Don't you see the video of one victim, one lucky victim that lived to testify? He was speaking it in Igbo. He's there on social media. I don't want to play because he has been played on here I didn't have time. He was saying in Igbo. He said when the Nigerian military caught him, just for nothing, they stopped him. They said, we can kill you now. And we have Biafran flags with us here. We carry Biafra flag and put on you. Say you are an IPOB, you are ESN. And he said the worst part of it is the soldiers are mixed. They have Fulani, they have Hausa, they have Yoruba, they have Igbo. He said the people that are telling him this is his own brother, Igbo man. There you understand that you Igbo man tell it, because it is our own Igbo brothers that are giving the caliphate the ideas how to tackle us. Giving them the courage. If we are dealing with a Fulani direct, they would have given up since. Do they have courage? Fulani, they are cowards. They don't have courage. No courage. It is our people, Biafrans in the Nigerian side, that is pushing them in order to continue. Don't fail. Push them. And that is very bad. That is why I say, we are still primitive. When I say this, many people might not understand. They say, no, but we are you can think that, we Igbos, we Biafrans, we are the most intelligent. No, we're your intelligence. Where? When you agree with foreigners to kill your own, to deal with your brother, that is pure errant to primitivity. I said it the other day. Okpa Biasika, he's from Onitsha. Ifajuna from Onitsha. Azikiwe from Onitsha. Na ihe Onitsha produce goro. Ọ dịkwa heavy. Sometimes I'm check ike egwu. Ihe Onitsha produce goro. I'm not talking it, but when you read the history, you see all these people. Na ike egwu. Now I ask, if Fajuna and Okpa Biasika and the rest, their children or grandchildren that are existing today, do they have a private railway line from Lagos to their house that is only them that are using? The answer is no. Do they have seaports in One, or they do seaport for them in Onitsha? Say, oh yeah. Or in Calabar, say no, this side, we did it for only Ifajuna family, Azikiwe family, Okpa Biasika family, all of them saboteurs. because they helped Nigeria to conquer their own people. Did they do it? The answer is no. If they are coming to our land, they are suffering like others. Do you see where I say that our people are highly primitive? Primitivity is not about being maybe when you are dirty you are primitive. No, 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 no. Fulani in the bush with cows, they are in a way more developed and advanced than the Igbo man that is riding a private jet. Let me tell you that. When people are able to organize themselves, be disciplined as a people, to have a focus, have a cause, that is advancement. Don't you know that? It's an advancement in character. But when people are uncontrollable, it's just like animals. You bring a pack of 100 dogs that are uncontrollable. They are primitive. You can't control them. This one will be backing. This one will be running east. The other one west. The other, you become confused. He's a primitive character. It doesn't matter you have the highest car. It doesn't remove you from being primitive. This is what we are trying. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu instituted, initiated, in order to remove us from this type of primitivity, whereby you see an Igbo man, together with a foreigner, killing his own brother for foreigner. That is the highest primitive character on earth. Fulani, they cannot do it. Don't you see? Haven't you had so many testimonies? Concerning the fight of Boko Haram, against Boko Haram, the Nigerian military. Somebody say he was a sniper, Nigerian military sniper. He killed Boko Harams as a sniper. But his own so-called Nigerian military comrade, who is also a Fulani, shot him from behind and say, you are killing our people. Why? And he was alive to be alive. He was lucky to be alive. And he resigned from the military. The video, he called the journalist, and that conversation is still there. I used to play it. And many other occasions. You see Sheikh Gumi coming out to, in order to protect, side his own people. Albeit they are terrorists, terrorizing every part of Nigeria. Sheikh Gumi didn't say, no, these people, no, I will kill them. No. He came and tell the whole world that these terrorists are their warriors. What do you have to say about it? Do you see the reason why I said even a Fulani in the bush, you see him tattered and dirty, but with his small radio, he is more advanced in thinking, political thinking, than an average Igbo man, who thinks what he thinks is about only himself. Even if bring his mother and kill, that as long as he is going to benefit something, is not a problem. An Igbo man he telling his fellow Igbo brother that we will kill you now. If we kill you, what is my problem? I kill you. The only thing I'll do, I'll bring a Biafra flag and put on your dead body and say you are an ESN, and case closed. And his other Fulani counterparts, we are laughing for him, clapping for him. And you say, "I am here." He said that I am here. This idiocy in our brain must be removed. It's a process. It's not something in a day job. No. It must be removed. That is the primitivity in our character. We are ready as long as we are feeding on crumbs with foreigners or even as slaves. When you see your brother, they command you, kill your brother, you kill him. Even without being commanded, you are the person to, to attack that your brother so that your foreign partners we clap for you, that oh yeah, they will reward you, that you are a genuine Nigerian, you are the tribalized Nigerian. You know, why is it that it is only on us, Igbos mostly, when they come, they talk about the tribalized? Who is talking about Sheikh Gumi? Is he the tribalized Nigerian? What of governor of Bauchi, Governor Ganduje? What of governor of Kaduna? These are people that are defending, that has been defending the Fulani headsmen, Fulani terrorists, all this, they nickname the bandits today, killing people everywhere in Nigeria, even in the northern part of Nigeria. But they defend them. They defend them openly. And you say you are wise. We must continue. There is this news: 3 arrested over attempts to kill police traffic officer driver in Ogun State. Although I don't know, because whatever they talk about this type of thing, the news is fake. But imagine that it is in any place in Biafra land, they will say it's the IPOB. They show these people, they are arrested. But if it's in our land, what you'll be seeing is their corpses. They will say it's the ESN. Now I ask, who are they? Are they ESN in Ogun State? Nakwane Chekuo. They attacked former Hakim, governor of Imo State. And he said that the attackers are professionals, that they are not IPOB. He said it. But you see people saying, no, it's IPOB, it's ESN. You know, there's something we continue saying here. You see all these political elites in our land. They should be thankful of IPOB for not making any official statements about election. Forget about people that are the government agents, you know, agent provocateurs, we call them, that are giving orders. No election in Biafra. Where IPOB never give any formal statement about election. We appeal to the conscience of our people that what we need is permanent solution. And electioneering is not a permanent solution to us. We are not interested in any Nigerian election. That is our stand. But you see the agent provocateurs talking, oh, this no election, there is not IPOB. What had it been IPOB made a statement and said no election? Let me tell you, they will be on rampage killing political elites in our land and labeling it that it is IPOB. Because they say there is no election, there should be no election. Do you see that the DOS, they are wise? Do you see it? They are even frustrated. That is why they are. Look at the film they brought, the movie. I kill this person. I kill. But I say, how many Fulani terrorists or so-called bandits have been arrested and paraded to the journalists and start saying, no, I kill this person, I kill. For you to know that all these are, setups. They are frustrated. They don't when they write, okay, let the subject address the public. Oh yeah, go on, continue. Say what you have to say. I know the Nigerian government, they are frustrated. But you know what baffles me? Those that are also partaking in all those shenanigans are Igbo people. They are happy seeing their brother being on chain, being humiliated. But they can never see a Fulani killer. I don't compare ourselves with them, but I say even the real Fulani killer, they don't show them. They don't. And is that not primitivity on our own part? Let me ask. Truth be spoken. And they are the people that are blowing English, asking questions. How many people have you killed? On something that they know is set up. But as long as they can get crumbs, that is low life. We should maintain dignity, a dignified life. We don't want to live like slaves all the years of our life. That's it. Another news headline is say Dubai scraps 30% of alcohol tax to boost tourism. Dubai is a Muslim country. United Arab Emirates is a Muslim country. First of all, they have reversed. Their weekend before was a Friday. Sunday they work. But they see that in order to engage the world, he has order that they are the people losing financially. Now they enter the Western system, Gregorian calendar they are using. Before they were using Islamic calendar. They say, "Oh boy, this is Islamic calendar. This is their culture, yes, but it cannot put food in their table. It cannot make them grow." Now they put back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to Friday as working days with normal Western weekends or Gregorian calendar. Today, they put the alcohol, 30% alcohol tax. They put it before in order to discourage, so that alcohol is very costly there. In order to discourage people from buying drink. But today they say, "Oh boy, to hell with this tax." They remove the tax so that alcohol will be sold normal. I mean, even in the afternoon, sold everywhere, even during Ramadan, so that alcohol will be sold during their Ramadan period. Do you see that the world is, this world is not about, religion, praying to something you don't see. It is we human beings that will make this world the way we want it. No alien from heaven or from any other outer space will come and do it for us. Dubai have seen that, oh, this thing is harming them. Oh, Islam. Oh, yeah, we are Muslims. No alcohol. 30%. You want to buy alcohol, something you should buy 1 naira. You buy it 300 naira. For example, a drink. So to discourage people. But they see that, oh boy, they are not losing. They are losing. They are losing. It's discouraging people. Some people, if they want to travel there, they say, waiting at the go there. Is it to go drink Coca-Cola now? I want to go holiday. So let me go Indonesia. We are live there, where you can get different things. So they see that all these things is harming them. They say, "Oh, now I beg. More on a come, alcohol, drink, no tax. It's normal price." Do you see? It's about the way human beings situate, place things. It's not about one mystical figure, or because you are praying to God and you don't see that God, you don't know, but one day He will do something and turn everything around. No. That is why our First Lady talked about the frontal lobe of the brain. You understand? Dubai scrapped the 30% alcohol tax to boost tourism. They want to better the lives of their people, because they know that only going to praying, you don't drink alcohol, or you make alcohol more difficult. Look at the zoo. You look at the zoo that don't have electricity. Look at the northern part, Sharia North. They destroy anything alcohol. They destroy it. But they are looting. They are looting money from every other thing. You understand? They are stealing. But alcohol, they say no, but they don't have electricity. There is no electricity. Look at where Arab country, where Islam originated from. They open up all these things for you to understand that there is a problem in the mindset in black race. That is why here we try to stimulate that frontal lobes in your brain, so that you reason critically. It is something that our leader started. He has been hammering on the way people reason, on the way black people reason. Is fundamentally flawed. Is because of lack of advancement or stimulations of the frontal lobes. That is what kept us where we are today as black people. That is why anywhere you go in this world, you see black race. Black. It doesn't matter. Australia, go to black side where black people live. It is the poorest, the most crime-ridden place. Is it in Americas, from Canada down to Argentina? Where black people are, it is the poorest. Is it in Europe? The same thing. Everywhere, the same thing. Now, can't you ask yourself question? Why is it so? Because the mentality, the frontal lobes of the brain is not developed enough. You understand? That is what our law was trying to teach, to educate us day before yesterday. And that is what I'm going to continue talking. Okay. Enugu Governor Ugwanyi grants amnesty to 41 ex-militants in Igboeze community. Ex-militants. Do you see that these people are the enemy? When you are praying for them, I know that people went to cross overnight casting out demons. No, you are mistaken. The demons in our land are these governors, these politicians in our land. Please stop disturbing yourself by, talking on things that doesn't exist. Do you know what Ugwanyi is trying to achieve? The Ehamufu massacre by the Fulani terrorists, the massacres that have been taking place in our land with the backing of the Nigerian military. What he wants to do, or what he wants to achieve, is to showcase to the international community, to the world, that no, after all, this thing we are talking about, Fulani terrorists, is not them. It is our own people. So I'm granting them amnesty. Do you see that these people are anti-us? These people you call governors, these people when they are killing you, say, oh, I call on the governor to come and help us. I call on the government. They are the people that are killing us. They are anti-us. When we are trying to push out the news, because the news is being subdued, about the Hamufu massacre, about how they brought a murderer, a terrorist, in the name of Izit Omar, as the GOC of Enugu division. Now, this man wants to make sure that he stifles this reality by, I give 41 people, militants who, in Enugu, Igboeze community. I grant them amnesty. Do you see how these people are what they are doing is directly against our interests? Because he is doing what he is commanded to do. So that the news of this so-called amnesty will now be above what really transpired. People will now be talking about amnesty, try to grapple with money, 5,000, 1,000 that will be given to them, surrender your guns, and as if they are the perpetrators. That is what they are trying to achieve. Are you understanding what I'm saying? This is the reality. Therefore, you see these governors, these politicians in our land, they are worse than Afonja. You know Afonja, that gave a law into the Fulani Caliphate today. Afonja, the area on a for a law in that time. He wanted to depose his own brother, who was the king. And he have to invite the Fulani to come and help him. Fulani say, oh, we will help you, don't worry. When they finish killing his brother with him, fighting against his brother's army and killing his brother, he happy. He say, oh yeah, thank you very much. Now you can carry the loot, the booty of the war. Now I will be the king. They turn around and cut off his neck. They say, you are stupid. Do you think that we come here to help you and go back? And that is the way they entrenched in Ilori to today. They entrenched the Sultan of Ilori till today. Do you understand? Instead of their normal Yoruba king. The Emir of Ilori. They put Emir of Ilori till today. It is from a Yoruba indigenous person. And today they lost Ilori. That is what the way these people are doing. These governors, they are doing only for their interest. Oh, George Obiozo died. He's dead. Few months ago, he's talking as a normal human being, serving his caliphate. I wrote it in my comments on Sarah's Reporters. I say, if these people know that they can really die like every one of us, because all of us will die, they would muster their energy and channel it to fighting for their people, so that when they die, they remain immortal in our minds. They lay legacies that will never be forgotten. But lo and behold, he's dead. He's dead like every other person. When they are doing all these things, they don't understand the consequences of what they are doing, the future consequences of what they are doing to us as a people. They don't understand it. But we will not allow them to continue. Therefore, let me go straight to the subject matter of today, please. I have many news headlines, but another day I will, amplify them. I'll read them and analyze them more, please. Okay. As I said, the topic of my submission today, Obochenko, being the 3rd of January 2023, is stimulating and restoring enlightened mindset. I want to use it as a beginning of the year. Lord did a very good justice to it, and we will continue. Stimulating and restoring enlightened mindsets. The restoration of an enlightened mindset starts with restoring the damaged or activation of non-functional frontal lobes part of the brain. Remember that these frontal lobes is the largest, or are the largest lobes in the human brain, and they are also the most common region of injury in traumatic brain injury. The frontal lobes are important for voluntary movement, emotions, expressive language, and for managing higher level executive functions. Executive functions refer to a collection of cognitive skills, including the capacity to plan, organize, initiate, self-monitor, and control one's responses in order to achieve a goal. The frontal lobes are considered our behavior and emotional control center, and home to our personality. There is no other part of the brain where lesions can cause such a wide variety of symptoms. Do you understand? Lolo said it, that if you don't understand, you have to consult another person that will explain it to you. That is why I took it up, in order to explain, go more further. This frontal lobe is what is necessary, for our behavior, for our thinking. That is what controls it. Therefore, when you see somebody that is retarded, is lack of the development or stimulation of the frontal lobes of the brain. Do you understand? And mind you, this part of the brain, frontal lobes, human being possesses the largest in the whole of mammals. Human being possesses the largest and the most developed. Other animals like the apes, they possess frontal lobes, but they are not large and not developed as humans. That is why we human beings are the only species that converts or have the ability to convert our language or our languages into technology. Other animals don't do it. Do you understand? What is responsible is this frontal lobes. The brain, this part of the brain is in the forehead. This side. I think the left-hand side, forehead of it. Therefore, the frontal lobes part of the brain is mostly responsible for critical thinking and the ability to subject things to the altar of reason. Do you understand? Subjecting of things to the altar of reason. That was the main criteria of European Renaissance. They stopped subjecting things to belief. What Black African Nigerians are suffering, our people are suffering today. Belief system. Na ikwere ekwe, ndi na ekwe ya ekwe. Na umonye kwere ekwe, ina ekwe na gene. What do you believe? Whereas we are trying to make you subject everything to the altar of reason. Because that is how and why we are human beings. It's not the era of belief. The frontal lobes part of the brain is mostly responsible for critical thinking and the ability to subject things to the altar of reason. You know, Lolo gave an example. He said, if you see somebody fall, just fall on the ground, all of a sudden, immediately you start blaming, accusing the person behind him. Oh, you are the person that pushed it. He said, why not wait, think, and use the what if assertion. What if there is water that made him slip and you misjudged that, oh, somebody pushed the person? What if there is a banana peel that another person, passerby that have entered train and gone since, threw on the ground? You didn't see it. He made the person to slip over. But because of emotions, because your frontal lobes is almost dead, it's not working, immediately you went into conclusion. Oh, no, I saw the person. It's him that pushing me because he's at his back. I know now. I'm sure. You start talking out of emotion. Do you understand? That is why, you know, in our place, once people hear thief, they don't care about, they can crucify and burn even innocent person. They don't care to know, maybe the person is hungry. Maybe if you allow the person to, you know, another chance to talk. No person wants, because people are emotional in that part of the world. Their frontal lobes part of the brain is not functioning. They relegate it. They leave it in a sleepy mood. In a sleepy mode. Whereas that frontal lobe, that part of the brain should be the highest in activity in every human being. Because that is what brings about advancement. That is why, you know, you can reason. That is the reason why you can put things in critical thinking, in the altar of reason. But lo and behold, people are not making use of that part of the brain. It is very sad. Our leaders started this struggle by making sure that we are stimulated into making researches, that we are stimulated into thinking, into, you know, offering things to the altar of reason. You understand me? In other way, this part of brain, when stimulated into full function, is responsible for enlightenment. You know, is responsible for enlightenment. You know, enlightened fellows can turn a nation around and put it into advancement. Do you understand? Let me continue telling you this, because I've been saying it here. Europeans were cannibals before. The Europeans were zombies, even more than Nigerians. But a time came, they started having a rethink. That is the era of Renaissance, starting from the 15th, 16th century, the era of Renaissance. After the reconquest, when they took back Iberia Peninsula, They came out from what they call the Dark Ages, when the Moors captured Europe and ruled Europe, part of Lower Europe, Iberian Peninsula, for almost 800 and something years. They call that time the Dark Ages. You understand? Now the Renaissance, when people, because the time they were under all those captivity, they were praying to God to liberate them. Oh, but they believed sheepishly. But when they liberated themselves, now they started thinking in another way, that look, it is we human beings that can pave our way, the way we want to live. It is we human beings. That era of Renaissance awakening later led to both industrial revolution and revolutions, where they chase away most of their monarchy. Do you understand? It is a process. That is what we are trying to do here on Radio Biafra, IPOB. Because what's IPOB, what you gain from IPOB, the more benefit is the education. The educational part of the restoration, because that is the most important part of this restoration effort, to make sure that we start thinking in another way, to make sure that we start positioning, putting things at the altar of reason, not belief. Not what they are saying, what they tell you, you believe. They say, hey, that horizon, do you know? Nah, there is one spirit that lives in the horizon. So no person should go there. No. Europeans broke that chain because they started developing their frontal lobes. You understand? And they entered into the era of Renaissance. Now, the existence of frontal lobes in every human brain means that raw materials for enlightenment has been naturally there in every human being. It therefore depended on the people to discover, stimulate, initiate, activate, and or restore this very important part of human advancement in us. That is the reality. Because right from the word go, it has been there. Right from time, this frontal lobe has been there. That is why, let me ask, this tactile phone, when was it, when you look at, when you start thinking, it seems this thing, this telephone now, mobile phone and tactile phones, touch phones, as if it has been there since world go. No, not long time. It's not long time. Whether maybe 2000s. How many years now? Some less than 20 years, some 20 years, some countries. But when you look at the way things are moving, you think that it has been like this. I could remember I watched black and white television in the 80s. You understand? But when you look at how things are moving now, you think that this thing has been there for thousands of years. No. It is the rapid development of human brain. The brain that has been there, but it is for you and I to initiate, stimulate it. That is it. That is why it's a free thing. Nature provided to us. So it's for you to discover. I used to ask this question. I said, look, the aeroplane that is flying today, chunk of metals, plastic, everything, that is flying, hundreds of tons of all these things, material that is flying on air, controlled. 1,000 years back, if you tell people that time that this type of thing will happen, people will be flying on air. A plane can, something can, people will be, maybe 200 people will be inside one object flying on air. Maybe they will tell you that you have spoken against the Holy Spirit. They will burn you alive. Do you understand? But does it mean that the materials that was used, that is used in building all these things, it wasn't existing? It has been in existence in this world. But the issue is, can you find it out? Discover and find out something that has been existing. Everything is given to us in order to ameliorate better our world, our lives as human beings. Nature provides this for us. It is now for us to make use of it, to use our brains in order to, in order to build up, in order to make sure that things are built, put in a normal way. That is the reality. It didn't come from the blue. It didn't fall down. All these things didn't fall down from heaven just now. No, they have been existing. The only thing that was not there is the brain, the knowledge. The frontal lobes have been there, but to develop it, to initiate, for it to stimulate its action, for it to be active, that is what has been lacking. And today, what we are doing is to try to stimulate our brains into actions. You understand me? Remember, I'm talking about stimulating and restoring enlightened mindsets. When I talk about our being primitive as a people, some people might not be understanding. Some people might be saying, look, we are more educated than. No, that is not it. Anyway, I'll come to that later. Okay. It therefore depends on people to discover, stimulate, initiate, activate, and or restore their very important part, this very important part of human advancement in us, which is the frontal lobe. This is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu initiated and what we continue to do here on Radio Biafra London in order for us to restore a sanitized nation called Biafra. Without a sanitized brain, a fully functional frontal lobes, it will be highly difficult to restore a sanitized nation. That is the truth. Now, as I said before, I want to take you back to the era of Renaissance in the European history. We refer to history in order to let us understand that what we are doing, it is not out of line. It is what other people has done. They have done it. They passed through these difficult periods. It didn't come in a day. When we are talking about, look, we like our Saturday programs, some people might be taking offense, but this is what happened in Europe. People started asking questions. That is even why, the reason why you have these reformed churches. That is the reason why you have a Church of England. Because people started asking questions. Because before, the only church around was the Universal Church of Rome, the Roman Catholic Church. You understand? But people started asking questions. People started arguing. It led to bloodshed, for your information. It led to killings of people. Because people that are benefiting from the status quo will never allow that status quo to change. Because if it changes, it means that they will no more be significant. That is the reason why the Fulani Caliphate met during the colonial period. After the swift defeat of the Fulani Caliphate by Frederick Lugard, the Caliphate, the Emir, the Sultan immediately met with and bowed down to Frederick Lugard, and bowed down to him and said, look, we completely bow down to you. Please allow us to be running our people with the structure on ground, because we had a caliphate structure. Do not educate our people. Please, we beg you. Do not enter to educate our people. If you educate our people, their eyes will open and will become irrelevant. They will pursue us. They will kill all of us. Now, we bow down to you. We become your vassal. We are your slaves. Only that, tell us whatever you want us to do, and we will communicate to our people. Pass through us, but don't touch their lives. Don't educate them. Don't enter them to allow them to go to school. Only that we, the elites, the caliphates, we will be giving you, we will provide our children for training. You understand? And Frederick look at Luke and say, look, this is what we want. What we are looking, there is no problem. And that is how they love the Fulani. They kept their people in that ancient 7th century mood or mode till today. So that their word, the word of Emir, the word of Sultan, becomes the word of God. It becomes a law. That is what they maintained till today. Do you see it? Now, all these things have been happening in Europe. But a time came, people started asking questions. It brought confusion everywhere. Like when people are saying, when we are teaching, when we are on our Saturday program, some people will say, no, don't worry, this thing will bring confusion. No, this is not a Biafra resort. That is the confusion. Through that confusion, before something goes good, it must go bad. That is the reality. Before a woman could deliver, before you can happily carry a child, he must go through pain, 9 months pain, and after he will start having pains to deliver into labor. That is it. You cannot say, I will not go into labor and I want to have a child. No. It's impossible. It's not now that they do test tube baby. I'm talking of the natural process. It's impossible. So, all this thing we are doing, it is not out of line. When you study history, the Renaissance of Europe, it came with blood because people were challenging things that people were afraid to talk about, even in their own privacies. You see people openly challenging the Pope, openly challenging the bishops, openly challenging the kings that we are taking as gods. And many people say they were afraid. They say, look, these people, this thing is going to bring confusion. And they brought confusion in Europe. There were killings, confusion everywhere. But after everything, you see Europe is developed today. Because they were asking questions. They made use of their frontal lobes. They developed it. Otherwise, if you continue allowing, like the Almajiris, they kill their frontal lobes so that they don't think. Instead, their marabouts think for them. Their malams think for them. Their emirs think for them. Now, what does it mean? That the person is not a real human being. It is half a human. It's an animal. The Renaissance is a period in European history marking the transition from the Middle Ages to modernity and covering the 15th and 16th centuries, characterized by an effort to revive and surpass ideas and achievements of classical antiquity. Do you see what we did not pass? Let me tell you. Oh, Chineke. We did not pass through the Renaissance. This thing, the Europeans came and their appearance in our land blocked us from having our own Renaissance, in our own value. I don't know whether people understand what I mean. Because when you talk about the Renaissance, the European Renaissance, they started transition from Middle Ages to modernity. And it covers the 15th to 16th century, characterized by an effort to revive and surpass ideas and achievements of classical antiquity, which means they had a precedent, their antiquity, they modernize it. That is the characterization, the characters of Renaissance. You start developing what you have. Oh, I don't know what. You started developing what you had. All this our artwork from 9th century Buku, from the thousands of years of artwork in our land. We were not allowed to develop it. The Europeans blocked it by their coming into our land. Do you understand? They stopped our Renaissance and infused us their own way. But they underwent their own. Because they had, every people had their own ancient civilization or ancient technologies. How do you call it? Their old system. Now a time came, the Renaissance it brought about people start thinking and say, look, how can we develop on these things our ancestors started? Our own, they stopped it and condemned everything and made us to hate our ancestors. The only race in the world that never applauded their ancestors. They made us to hate them. Oh, Chineke, honestly speaking, they had their own renaissance where they continued from where their ancestors, the medieval Europe, the Middle Ages, they now started to modernize it. The achievements of their ancestors, they say, okay, now, how can the new ideas will come? Say, no, we cannot continue sitting down here doing things the same. Let us advance. That is the renaissance. That is the development of the frontal lobe, for goodness sake. But we are not allowed to do that because of the European presence. They came, they used their Christianity, blocked everything in our brains. And we started cancer, demonizing ancestral spirits, saying that they are the cause of our woes. Do you see what I'm saying? We must continue. Here we give the bitter pills, please. It doesn't matter how bitter it is, but it heals. It doesn't matter. Our leader said, no matter how you criticize him, you will sit in your private chamber and say, but this man, they talk not true. That is only what we want to hear, nothing more. If you want to criticize us, if you want to insult Mazi Jonathan, insult Radio Biafra, but the time comes when you sit down in your private chamber, you say, nah, but what I'm hearing here, it is the reality. It is true too. That is the only thing. It covers every other thing. That is the only thing we want to hear. Nothing more. The Europeans from 15th, 16th centuries, they started saying, look, we shouldn't continue staying on the old method. Let us see how we can improve on what we saw, on what our ancestors built on. Let us, classical antiquity. Do you understand? And this thing brought us, it brought crisis. Crisis of late Middle Ages. It brought a crisis everywhere because there were some people that said, no, don't touch. He said, this is no go area. No, don't do. The others said, no, lie. We are human beings. We are made to reason. And it led to crisis and bloodshed. Because that is how it is. Good thing can never come without bad thing, just like Samson, they wrote in the Bible. I say I quote it because we learn from everything. Out of hard thing, out of something hard comes something sweet. That is true. Out of something that is strong, that is hard, comes something sweet. You can never avoid the crisis because there are people that are eating on this status quo. I doff my head to one of our brothers, Melchizedek, who is always calling all these Ndiokite. These so-called native doctors, they are claiming charlatans that call themselves native doctors, including pastors. People that you are afraid to tell, he called them and put them on video and say, you are rubbish, you are a fraudster. And that is what they are. Because what is sweeping in our land is the renaissance. They are awakening for people, for goodness sake. That is what is. It is not going to come easy. There will be bloodshed. It happened in Europe. It happened everywhere. Even in Asia, in Japan, it happened. Do you understand? So our own is not going to be a different thing. No. It's normal. There are the hardcore people that are eating on the same status quo. They say, no, that your stupidity, that your gullibility, it is fetching the money. They are making living out of it. Do you think that they are going to let go very easily? But we continue pushing. We continue pushing. That is why we shouldn't be afraid of our lives, because everybody must die. George Obiozo is dead, isn't he? What matters is the legacy you lay here on earth. That is the only thing that immortalizes you. Nothing more. So we continue pushing. The progressives, the progressives that want the development of our frontal lobes, we want to make people understand that we have to make it. We need to change the way we reason. That is what we are doing here on Radio Biafra. Do you understand? We must continue. Necessity, they say, is the mother of invention. Why? Why is it so? It's a saying, and rightly so. During very difficult periods, you are forced to make maximum use of your brain. That part of brain you think that you don't use, it start functioning, it start shaking, start functioning. That is why they say necessity is the mother of invention. The European Renaissance started after the crisis of the late Middle Ages. Because there must be crisis now. There must be this thing will bring crisis and bloodshed. It is normal thing. It happened everywhere around the world. For an ideology to break through, there must be crisis. Because there are people that are gaining from the old system. They will not let go. They will not let go. But, as long as we are preaching this gospel and people are joining, more people are joining, a time will come just like a flood. It will overtake everybody. There will be clashes. It's true. So when you see what is going on in our land, no, don't go. We cannot stop because we don't want crisis. Unless we want to be slaves forever. And which we cannot. We don't dare to. We need to change the status quo. That is why today I'm talking about stimulating and restoring, enlightening the mindsets. That is it. The Europeans were able to manage, control, and channel this crisis-ridden renaissance into positive social changes that have affected the social development and advancement. That is it. That is why, IPOB is a movement organized, remark that word, organized movement. The key word there is organization. That is the key word. Because without organization, you cannot get anything. What you get is anarchy. This person will go. That is when things are, you see the leadership, Mazi will come on air, start shouting, say, no, this is not IPOB, because we stop at Chikota, now we move forward. That is how it is. Europe, they were able to manage, control, and channel this crisis-ridden renaissance into positive social changes that are affected social development and advancement. When we talk about going back to our roots, you see some charlatans come and say, okay, we are now in our roots. Oh, yeah, come bring money. All that matters to them now is money, because they have to profit for their useless individual gains. That is how this thing is. But as an organized movement, anywhere there is error, we correct it. If it is fight, we fight there. If it's blood, it will be shed. It is normal. And we connect and we carry that one and continue as a group. You don't allow somebody to hijack what we have been working for. No, hijack it and for his own personal interest after everything will collapse. No. What we are doing is organization. We organize, we go. When we go, we see that other people, some are trying to move left. We say, no. We stop. Now, wait for them. Wait. We collect ourselves, encourage ourselves. People that are so heady, we can cut them off or even push them into valley and say, oh, that's, yeah, continue. Let's continue. That is how IPOB is moving. And that is how it should be. You understand? Because the Europeans did it. Had it been they were not able to control this renaissance, it will become worse than even before. It will become worse anarchy than ever. They had anarchies, yes, but at last they were able to control everything and continue. That is how you get the developed, advanced Europe today that we are dying to go. They passed through hell. They passed through many things. Bloodshed everywhere. They passed through. Because there are things there are people that we are eating on the blood of others to continue keeping people very, very, very gullible and stupid. We are chopping from them. The same thing that is happening in our land. But we will not allow it. Do you understand? In order to fully understand the trends going on in Nigeria, you need to activate and use the frontal lobes part of your brain. Do you understand me? The Fulani terrorists are on the rampage in every part of Nigeria, but there are actually no public outrage, no government actions, and international condemnations and actions against them. Rather, what is always in the frontline news is IPOB ESN. Do you understand? And people are buying to the news because their frontal lobes are not active. They think with their emotion. Let me tell you this story. During the Korea War of 1950 to 1953, the Chinese they devised a very smart move because they were supporting North Korea together with the Soviet Union against South Korea with the Allied forces. You understand? So they captured the prisoners of war, American prisoners of war. The Chinese devised and said, look, they started what they call brainwashing. They started brainwashing this, captured some airmen, some pilots, some other soldiers, American soldiers. They started brainwashing them, into hating capitalism and professing it publicly. Do you understand me? That is propaganda. They even made some of them to testify publicly that what they were doing is wrong. Killing people, being on air bombing people. You understand me? It's a propaganda. The Chinese, China today. This thing happened from 1950 to 1953. Korean War. They brought out the American captured soldiers and high officers in the camera, confessing that they are commanded to kill civilians, bomb everywhere. Capitalism is bad. They are brainwashed in captivity to say so. Do you understand? And according to history, they say that pronouncement, that propaganda caught many Americans, even in America. Do you understand? So that when they carry one criminal come and say, okay, I'm ESN, my DOS give command, and I say, now I go burn INEC, now I go do this. This is something that is so local, so primary. The Chinese did it. Even the thing shook America. Their amen coming in public in camera, confessing, with a vigor, giving facts. It shook America that time. Do you understand? Many Americans now started saying, no, this war, why should America be engaged? After they were being released, because the communists, they achieved their aim. After they were being released, many of them prefer not to go back to America. This is history. It's a historical fact. Many Americans, they say no, they don't want to go back to capitalism. This is what brainwashing and propaganda can cause. Do you understand? So that when you see all these things that are happening, Nigeria is desperate. They know we have destroyed them. They are desperate. They say this is the last fight. They throw us everything. That is why they tell their agent provocateurs, their agents, they stimulated. Well, don't give up. Go, continue. This is our leader. Their leader is here with us. We will keep him so that we see whether we can destroy IPOB. You are not born. You don't know the people that are the think tanks in IPOB. You don't know them. That's it. So, as I said, in order to fully understand the trends going on in Nigeria, you need to activate and use the frontal lobes part of your brain. Activate it. Make it functional. Not emotion. It will make you see things from reality point of view. What if? Before you make judgment, you consider 360 degrees. Not only, hey, with emotion, you say, hey, you start talking. You start making judgment. That is why these people that are within small time, they are confused. Now I'm confused. Oh, they go here, they come here, hey, they come here. Now, sorry, IPOB, sorry, I didn't know. They go out, they go here. People without activated frontal lobes, very weak. Today, I'm challenging you to make sure that you stop judging with sentiment. Activate, stimulate your frontal lobe. That is it. In Nigeria, Britain initiated the ongoing population census fraud in Nigeria. We had it in Harold Smith confession before he died. In Google today, let me shock you. Go to Google today and verify. You know, I've been shouting this here. The Fulani, they inflated their populations in Nigeria to 40 million. Oh, do you see the reason why I abhor Igbo intellectuals, so-called intellectuals? All their intellectualism is about speaking English, speaking grammar. They don't challenge nothing, even intellectually. They don't challenge nothing. Let me tell you, you know, I said this before 2015, before Buhari took over office. Officially, Fulani was given out 1.5% of Nigeria population. 1.5%. Listen, what I'm saying now, you have to go and make researches. It is very deep. Today, when you go to Google, it will tell you that Fulani, they have a population of 40 million in Nigeria. In Nigeria only. Whereas the overall Fulani population in Africa is highest 25 million. But do you know that Fulani is paying Google to erase all these things, change things? That is the fraud Britain started. But do you know what? They say that they are 6% of Nigeria population now. 6% now. 40 million or 6%. Now, they put Igbo as 34.2 million. But we are 15.2% of Nigeria population. Have you seen the America Wonder? What I'm telling you is inside. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that phone you use to watch a prank, because I think it's running thing now. Watch a prank and laugh with stupid laughter. Use it. Please enter Google and Google it. What I'm telling you, Google it. Fulani inflated their population today to 40 million in Nigeria. But the percentage they say is 6% of Nigeria population. Listen, Igbo, they put Igbo because in Mandiba we don't have our intellectualism is our intellectuals is to come and speak and challenge ourselves and talk rubbish. Do you understand? They put us in as 34.2 million, but 15%, 15.2% of Nigeria population. Yoruba 15.5%. But them that are 40 million, they are 6%. Now, they are coming, they never finish. With this small thing, they will change it and say now they are 30% of Nigeria population. Because they will fly a kite flying to test. After nothing, they have started. They entered before in my presence. They enter from 1.5%. They enter 2% of Nigeria population. 2.5%. From 2.5%, since I think 2021, it was 6%. Intellectual. They put our population in Google as they want. Our people, it doesn't matter. No challenging, no effort. You will see what Igbo Congress doing meeting in EDG in America. They don't care of all these things. They don't know that this is how we are being minimized. That is how they minimize Igbo into five states. Whereas the people are working on the ground. All intellectualism, what we know is to speak grammar. That is why I say I abhor. And you see this so-called intellect, I'm professor. I abhor you until you start doing the right thing. I'm telling you honestly. All they know, you ibeha. That is only thing they know. Only thing they know. Rigging election. Bringing Fulani pets, puppets into our land. That is only thing they know. Nothing more. The Fulani, they are, after you say they don't know anything, they bribe Google, they put any information, they don't care. Oh, Igbo, they go official version. No, what Nigeria say we are is what we are. Ndiara. Igbo is 34, they put Igbo 30. Look at the whole Lagos. Somebody drove around Lagos. Where population, no more, nobody, everywhere is free. Because Igbos left Lagos to go to villages to celebrate. But they put us at 34.2 million, which is 15.2% of Nigeria population. They put 40 million for Fulani. I'm not talking of Hausa, Fulani. They put it at 40 million, but they put the percentage at 6. Before you know it now, the next year they will increase. Say no, it's a mistake. They will increase it to 30%. That is the reason why. That is how Mietiala terrorists got their 16 million registered voters. These people, they know politics more. They are going like a war group. You see them as a cow riaras. And then you don't know that you are the most, they are the highest. You are even below. Most stupid and gullible. You don't know. Go to Google and see what is happening. Can our people challenge and bring out, make all the, you see that they say, it doesn't matter. I beg, leave this in. Nah, I'm a game. Now, you bought my game. You're not sure when John Jago, if I got where I go, Manego. Hey, 40 million population. What the Fulani put inflated. People that are not up to 4 million in Nigeria. They are not up to 4 million. Now they added times 10, 40 million. And the 40 million, they put 6% so that you will not see them. They don't come at a time. Until time comes when you don't challenge nothing, no cause they see that you are still there, they will push it up. The percentage now will come up. It's 30%. That's it. That's the reality. Whereas our people should know better. All these things, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Again, you don't see, or more, I'm in charge. Oh, God, hey, again, you don't see. Again, you don't see one or chaga one, Nibo land the Kena without pity. This type of very proud, uselessly proud character we have. I need to honor empty drum. I need to honor and where you start working like the caliphate. They are working hard even underneath. That is what we stimulate here. From the 40 million, Mietiala said they have 16 million registered voters. Waiting. Here we got that one mentioning. This is the abracadabra Britain put in Nigeria. And somebody is promising to fix Nigeria. I don't know whether Peter Obi, if he go there, he will cancel the 1952-53 census and say, no, Britain didn't, the population, your population is not true. I don't know how he will start. If they are talking, develop your frontal lobe so that you will not be emotional. How? Therefore, the ability to reason is what distinguishes us as human beings. That is the ability to reason, critical thinking, subjecting things to the altar of reason. That is what distinguishes us as human beings. The killings going on in our land, initiated by the Igbo politicians and their paid agents, is geared towards one thing: to frustrate the Biafra restoration or the Biafra restoration efforts by turning the people against their own freedom. So that, our people, we are not consistent. We are not hard. We are not, I don't know whether what, Nigeria done us. We are not like Ekumekus, our ancestors. Once we see small difficulties, and what Biafra work is it how Biafra beg? We reject it. I reject it in Jesus' name. Oh, Chineke. We must continue no matter how hard it is, because this is our life. We must break through. That is how South Sudan fought for 39 good. Do you know what it means, 39 years? We fought for 30 years. 2.5 years to 3 years, and 39 good years, for goodness sake. And today they are free. Hell, all that they are doing is to frustrate the restoration efforts by turning our people against their own freedom. That is the only thing the Nigerian government wants to achieve. That is why they enter into propaganda. Any slightest thing they bring out, but you don't ask them, what about all these atrocities going on in Zamfara, in Bauchi, in Benue, even in Ondo, every part of Nigeria? Why are you focusing only in Biafra land? You bring it, we catch him. He's a ESN. I kill for, I bought. Nigeria, they are genius anyway. they are not capable. All these things is old system. We know it. When you see all these things, know that IPOB, they are desperate into dislodging trying to destroy IPOB. Do you remember before 2015 they came with tripod and quadrupod and two-pod? Have you forgotten? Everywhere in news, IPOB have divided into pieces. They divide it with their propaganda. But we tell them that we are indivisible. IPOB is one family. Today they are floating IPOB Youth Wing. A press release by IPOB Youth Wing. So that as gullible as you are, as stupid as you are, you say, wow, IPOB Youth Wing. They say, you don't know that we don't have IPOB Youth Wing. All we have is IPOB one family, nothing more. If you see that, know that it comes from is the Caliphate. Sultan of Sokoto even wrote that press release by himself. Here calls for wisdom. Never allow their plan to succeed by allowing ourselves to be confused or deceived. Remember, Europe passed through war situations, but they were consistent in maintaining their focus and goal towards the enlightenment of their mindset, which they achieved, and today they are enjoying the hard work and fruits of their ancestors' labor. We should therefore be wise and stop making decisions and judgments through our emotions or sentiments, rather through a fully functional frontal lobes part of our brain, which leads to renaissance, awakening, and enlightenment. This is where I'm going to stop. I will go into a few minutes break, so that when I come back, I will open my lines so that people will start calling. Please do not go away. I'll be right back.
Ọ na-abụ ọkọkọwa anụ ọhịa ya gakwuru ka osisi ọkọwakwanụ mmadụ ya gakwuru mmadụ ibe ya, n'ihi na onye a na-achụ ehi na-akpọku ma o jighị ọgwụ ya, o ji nri ya. Ebe nwata na-ebe akwa na-atụ aka ma isi nne ya nke nne ya ga-anọrị ya. Ọkụkọ sị na ihe na-esi aṅụ mmiri lewe anya n'elu na ọ bụ ebe ọnwụ na-egbu ya na-esi abịa. Biko anyị ji ohere a, anyị onwe anyị bụ ụmụafọ Biafra, indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB na aha mkpimkpi n'okpuru onye ndu anyị bụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dị nsọ na-arịọ ndị eze, ndị ụka dị iche iche, ndị ọha obodo dị iche iche, ndị ụmụnne nna, ndị ụmụnne nne na ọsịkwa na ọsịghị ka ha bikonyere anyị aka dịka ugwu. Ndị eze, ndị ụka dị iche iche, ndị ọha obodo dị iche iche, ndị ụmụnne nna, ndị ụmụnne nne na ọsịkwa na ọsịghị ka ha bikonyere anyị aka dịka ugwu
ụlachara ka anụ nwụọ asị m ọnwụ ga-akpọ gị ihu kpọọ m ụmụ gị ma ezinụlọ gị niile ihu n'aha Chukwu Okike abịa m ise Mazi Jonathan, may Chukwu Okike abịa ma give you more blessing because you are a blessing to the people of Biafra, honestly. Because the topic you handled this night, it really make me, I went into thinking in so many different ways, different forms. Because what is happening in our land, in Africa, honestly, Mazi Jonathan, we are primitive. Honestly, we are primitive. We are very, very foolish. You see that animal that they call idiot? Mazi, you see idiot is even better than black people. And is the worst people on this very planet Earth is the black people that come from that side that they call Nigeria, the Zoo, the Royal Niger Company. That is where the worst, the most, is from that part, Nigeria. Mazi, when you were preaching, so many things was going on my mind, and I began to ask myself questions. Because you first touch Onitsha, the saboteurs, Ifajuna, the idiot that put us in this mess. You know, Mazi, Ima only he about the Fulanis, and that is how it is. You know, our people, Mazi, who are trying to say with these Fulanis, you will see our people, they will begin to laugh them. Quack, 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 quack. Hey, you don't know how to speak English. This Fulani don't even know how to say come. You see our people laughing. But Mazi, you touch something. This Capoeira, you will see him in the forest, in the bush. We are the most educative, claiming to be educative, cannot speak. You will see him there with his small radio. But Mazi, ask me now, even those who say that they are educated in Biafra land, that say that they have their money, Mazi, most of them, this topic that we are preaching, all Ezio that we are preaching tonight, they are not even listening to them. So we are the Fulanis, who are the fool and who is the foolish? Is there not the other people that is the foolish one? Who are the Fulanis? Impact. The person that keeps you in this condition that you are is the person that you are lacking, that the person does not have bread. Are you okay your own self? Fulani making you don't have life. Fulani is the reason why you are starting every day. They have killed also, they have done this one, who well is this so? And the man, there's something I meditate on myself one day about this fuel of the thing also. You know, one time when they came out, when the idiot that called himself Obasanjo was in power, he was telling the dead bodies that you can drink a bottle of beer for 250 or 300. So why can't you buy a liter of whoever? Something went on my mind. I said, no, the Fulani, they are implementing what Obasanjo said. You know, that's why I concur with you that you say Nigerian. I will stop here because I'm getting annoyed. They are dead bodies. Honestly, they cannot reason. Their brains are not functioning. Thank you, Wachineke.
There were. We will continue. We never relent. I'm telling you. Caller on WhatsApp. Thank you for holding on. Can you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp. There were. No.
There were Mazi because before tụnye alo n'ihe iji n'aka n'ụbọchị tata ka m metụrụkwa ụmụ nwanne anyị nọ na Dublin ebe a ka m gwakwa ha na our monthly meeting ebidokwa. Everybody should not all the Dublin IPOB we want, the year is on now, and the This is the new month we are, and we are entered. The next Sunday is the second Sunday of the month, and we normally have our IPOB Dublin meeting every second Sunday of the month. I know some people might be thinking, oh, let us relax, oh, this is New Year, this is this one. Are days weekend I struggle? There is no time to rest. If you rest, continue. There is no time to rest. So I'm using this opportunity to tell all the IPOB members in Dublin that our normal monthly meeting is coming up this Sunday. I think it should be 8th of this January, which is this upcoming Sunday, and which is also the second Sunday of the month. If you are coming, make sure that you come with a new mind, with the new, as in a hardcore mind, that we must continue whatever we are doing. No relenting. All the supports that we normally support in IPOB worldwide, we have to come with all of them. Both the monthly due, the ESN support, we have to support them. If you are following what is going on, if you see, you will notice that we have funds our reserved ESN, and so we need to support them. And we normally have our monthly donation and everything. So people should show up in our monthly meeting, which is coming up this Sunday. And the venue normally is our normal venue, which is St. Andrews Community Center, 468 South Secular Road, Dublin 8. I repeat, St. Andrews Community Center, 468 South Secular Road, Dublin 8. Please, if you are still confused on the address on anything, just call our zonal coordinator, which is Mazi, Mazi CJ. Call him. He's total in charge of everything going on in Dublin. If you have any inquiry, please call him on 089 95 91 33 0. I repeat, 089 95 91 330. We must continue. Mazi biko ka m tụnye obere aro n'okwu iji taa, because you make some. I wanted to ask you a little question before I continue. This our critical thinking that we have not been used. My question is it the problem? Is it before the invading of white man, or after the invading of white man that our problem started? I just want to know, because I wonder if we the Biafrans doesn't have this critical thinking. How does our forefathers invented something like akpu? You know the process akpu normally goes. Normal process of the processing of akpu. How does sometimes when I'm eating that akpu, I normally think, how do they came about this thinking? So if they can be able to think, I'm just using that. I know there's a lot of things that there are a lot of things that they invented, but I'm just using that one as a point of contact. If they can be able to invent that kind of thing, is our problem? Is it after the invading of the white man to our land, or after, or before the invading of? I just want to know that before I continue. Please, can you enlighten me on that, please?
Okay, Mazi, what I have to say, what you ask is a pertinent question. Our ancestors, even they were more wise. They think pertinently, critically, even more than us. But let me tell you something. The coming of the Europeans stopped. It put a stop to many things that we should have continued. That is not an excuse anyway. You know, the building of a nation or the advancement of a nation is a process from one generation to another. It doesn't stop. Once you stop, even if there is anything, there is a way you can meander. You understand? We are not the only people that we are colonized. You can see Asians. A very conspicuous example, India. India was colonized. But, you know, Britain committed atrocities in India. The salt protest in India. They massacred Indians. They, you see, Britain imported officially opium drug to China several times to make the Chinese stupid during, I think, 19th century. That led to the first and second opium wars. So it is the world we are in is a process. Even if they push you down, you don't sit down there and start crying, you rise up. That was what Indians did. They were colonized, and in 1948, a giant zoo, their own giant zoo, what Britain wanted to form in India, it would have been the highest zoo in the whole world. But the same India, they understood themselves as human beings. They critically think. And you understand me? So in our own, there are mistakes made during colonial time. I'm not blaming our people for being colonized. No, it's normal thing. Kingdoms colonize kingdoms. After all, Britain was colonized by Roman Empire. Britain removed themselves, fought for their independence, and got it 410 to 412 AD from Roman Empire, and they continued advancing. So the mistake we made is not our ancestors at all. It came even through the time of colonial independence. Azikiwe should have negotiated something, should have seen the future. Do you understand? He should have seen the future. Where I say, okay, like what the Europeans did, they put a stop in our own form of development. People develops their own time and their own ways. Like, let me still give an example in India. Britain entered in, colonized India. India has been fabricating textiles. In their own homes. It is their culture, fabrication of textiles, aqua, trying to using cotton in a local way, to use hand to fabricate it. But when Britain colonized India, they want to eradicate India's natural system of textile manufacturing, local, in a peasant way. Now they started importing cheaper, more beautiful textiles from Europe in order to destroy the fabrics of Indian society. You understand? But India resisted. Mahatma Gandhi tried a lot. He developed what they call, village autonomy in fabrication. Every family, you fabricate what you. He made the Indians boycott. They boycotted European importations. You understand me? It is in history. Mahatma Gandhi talked to when he speak, the people listen. He had the capacity, like Azikiwe had the capacity. Instead of using his capacity, he was using it in speaking English. Azikiwe for his own private interests only. So had it been the Europeans, they didn't stop our development. What do I mean? Through our own way, by Christianizing us. Any other place in Asia, they made sure, even if you colonize them, they fight very hard in order to preserve their value, their Hindu system. You cannot take it away. In Japan, the same thing, they maintain their Shinto. So that is one thing. They Christianize us, turn us against each other. And that stagnated our development in our own way. But that is not also an excuse. Azikiwe should have corrected all these things in Nigeria by negotiating what Ahmad Bello also negotiated. The question you should ask, why did Ahmad Bello get it all and Azikiwe lost? And that is what we are suffering. So our ancestors, they were critical thinkers. But we, the subsequent generations, didn't develop their thinking just the same way the Europeans did. In the era of Renaissance in Europe, in 15th, 16th century, they started developing thinking about what their ancestors started, in classical antiquity. So that is it. It's a process. You don't stop. What we are doing, we cannot say, okay, we have achieved it all, we stop. No, generations coming, we continue. You know, it's a process. America of today was not like America of 1940s. They continue developing, adding things, you know, new generations start coming, continue adding. It's a process. So that is what I will quickly add to what you asked, please. I don't know whether I say something that satisfies you. Go on, please.
Maz, what you said, what you said is perfect. Is what I really it made me to understand what you're pointing out. Because sometimes this critical thinking you are talking about, because even I myself, sometimes when I sit down in my critical thinking to think as in to enter into my spiritual journey, I begin to have doubts sometimes that because most of my people, family close to me, you know, when you try to educate them, when you try to let them know that the world is changing, they have to cue into the enlightenment situation we are trying to erect in our people. They will try to tell you that all the obodo obe no go na ọ dị ka agba ego kwụfụ ọgwụ ndị a na-agba ebe ndị ala ọ dị ka ndị be anyị na-ahịa si obodo ebe na-ata na-eme ka ndị amachi ọ dị ka agba ego. I'm telling you the honest truth what is going on. They will start to see you, they will start seeing you as if that you are having maybe depression or mental problem. Why you are trying to bring them to so that they can cue into the mental, the critical and mental enlightenment that is going on now. That if you can't cue in now, you will definitely fall out. You know. So this is the point I wanted to raise because even at that now, sometimes I normally think I'm thinking that are we being controlled spiritually or is
Mazi, there is nothing like controlling spiritually, please. You know, let me tell you, the worst thing is that, like we black race, we are the only race that are turned into, you know, looking down, demonizing their ancestors. When you demonize your ancestors, anything you don't put value to anything they did. We believe that now they made us to believe that no, they are savages. They were savages. That they programmed us now into loving our killers, the white people. Do you understand? That is one thing they have successfully done. They programmed our mindset into loving them that came to kill us, came to thwart us. Now, how can they achieve it more? They made us to be demonizing our ancestors. That no, they are good for nothing. People that determined that discovered the goosey soup. People that discovered the different things that we are using today. They made us to go to church and start casting out ancestral spirit, and we demonize them. Nah, they are honestly.
Mazi, before land up, they aim to a point because that are we being controlled spiritually is that the enlightenment is going on, even entering into our values, bringing up our value, bringing up our culture. Okite that have not even between the age of 19 to 20, 22. I don't even know, but now
before I continue, you round up. This is not out of that is what our people should know this. This is not something that is out of proportion in a situation we are in. There are people that are, they have trained us, our people, with this mentality of money. So when we say go back to your values, you see people that takes advantage. All that they care for is money. So they start bringing, this is the real thing. Oh yeah, come. It is how we are going to continue fighting. It's a process. The Europeans, they didn't start today and ended up today Renaissance. Sometimes it took up to a century. That's why I say it's a process. They fought many things. And that is, we have woken up. There's no going back. We will continue. It's a process. If we finish, we die. Others that are following continue. That is how it is. Whether they say, okay, we will continue fighting everything, exposing until we get it right. The right, the pure way. That is it. So don't be surprised. It's normal. Go on, Mazi, and round up, please.
Mazi, well,
There we go. There we go. We should not be discouraged.
We must continue.
There we go. Yeah, some people will be coming. Hey, I want to say, go back to your value. What are for these people? Now they are the worst. Okay, instead, leave us where we were before. We can never live. It is all these things is what it's just like when you are even reading the Bible, you don't understand. People that are discouraging. Oh, you are going to a desert where you don't know. In Egypt, we are eating onions and cucumber. Why not? Instead of the devil you know or the angel you don't know is worse than the devil you know. So let us go and see. No, we will continue going until we reach our destination. Ideologically, anyhow, that is it. So don't be discouraged when they come with your kid. They say this is the way. No, you see how we fight them. You see how IPOB media warriors are fighting them. But okay, it's not the way. You see it. Others will come out. Other system will come out too. So don't be surprised. Other systems will come out, but we continue fighting. Is a process, a procedure. We should never be tired. That is it. Because it's a fight of our life. That's it. Do you know America, they got their they fought for their independence from Britain. But they have been wobbling in 18th century. They got their independence. But they've been wobbling from one problem to another, from one problem now for almost 100 years until 19th century. They fought and the thing went into full-blown war until Hazachazie here once and for all. And Hamokezie. Do you know what is 100 years? 90-something years? How many years have we been for us to be discouraged? Let them come out. We continue fighting until we reach our destination. Caller on, let me see. Caller on signal. Wanda, please hold on. Caller on signal, please go on. Welcome to the program. Caller on signal, can you hear me? Go on. Mazi, I don't know. Wanda, Miriam. Can you hear me? Please go on. Wanda, Miriam.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you are coming out now. Yes, it seems you were muted.
Okay. Mazi, Happy New Year to start with, and how are you?
Same to you.
Good afternoon, Mazi. Good afternoon to everyone that will hear my voice. All protocols I would invoke it and observe from Ohamadike 1 to every one of us through HODS. DOS. My name is Marian Hyder. I'm from Umunoha Sinimbi local government, but I'm speaking from in Maryland, United States. Mazi, the topic you're treating today, I'm really interesting. I was listening, so I said I must call in because I would like to add input one or two things. Now, the brother that just asked a question, I'm going to, just touch a little bit on the question he asked, even though you answered that question. But there's something I want to bring in because when he asked that question, this came to me. I don't think there's a direct relationship between what happened to us or our ancestors when the colonial masters came in with what we're dealing with now, which is the inability of most of us to rightly use our frontal lobe, critically thinking. There might be a correlation, which I will touch a little bit, but I don't think there's direct impact because if we say that the new religion they brought in, which is Christianity, because if I had my brother very well, he was trying to, the question was whether that was what made us to stop using our impaired, not just stop, impaired the full development of our frontal lobe. So I'm going to suggest, or I'm saying that no. Because if we go with that argument that it was the introduction of the Western religion, that means that what our ancestors, those who have come before us, because they did exploit up to certain time when things begin to change. Like we have been saying in our program on Saturdays, the Igbo man was known for certain qualities. The Igbo man was the head of the family. The Igbo man was the breadwinner of the family. The Igbo man was revered. The Igbo man was respected. Up till in the 70s, after the war, that's when you can pay, if you pay attention, you can start seeing what we are seeing now. That was when the damage began. And what was that? Now, for us to go into that, let us ask ourselves question. What are factors that can affect the development of the full development of the frontal lobe? Just like you stated in your argument when you were saying this program, the frontal lobe of the human being is that part of the brain that does not develop until a certain age of the individual's life. So when you start from the age of 18, I believe, no, 20 to 25, you know, that's when at that time it's still in the liquid form. From 25 upwards, begin to crystallize. But I'm not going to go into detail. So what I'm trying to say here is, even in America here, there's a reason why, if we pay attention or if we know, I don't know whether it applies to Nigeria, they recruit their military between the ages of 16 to 18. The argument in psychology is this: at that time, the frontal lobe of that individual is not right, it has not been developed. So the person is moving out of emotions. So they want to capture you that time and brainwash you to go to war. And at that time, because the frontal lobe, which is part of our critical, that processes our critical thinking to make us to have that right decision. What do you mean by right decision? Before you do anything, you will think about the consequences of your action. That is why you see teenagers or people below 18 years, we call them, they have daredevil syndrome. They think they're invisible. Is because their frontal lobe is not well developed. So that's why the American people like Europe, they capture them at that age and send them to war. And you find that most of their military, by the age of 25, 26, they retire. By then, their frontal lobe function. So like I said, I'm not going to go into the detail, warm us with that, because I'm trying to bring something here. So what I'm trying to bring here is, so then let us, if we know that this frontal lobe develops, the full development starts from 25. What is it that can affect the frontal lobe of an individual or impair it from full development? This thing we are saying now, this syndrome of inability of us to reason very well, Mazi, it's not just with us. It is with the Fulanis. I could preach it strictly on them. Because what they are trying to turn our people today is like their Marjories. That's where they're taking us. Think about it. These children you call Marjories, they will be inducted at early age and brainwashed that so people, because they don't believe in what you believe, they are not worthy to live. It's not the elite of the Fulanis. The elite of the Fulanis, what they have succeeded in doing is take these children from birth or even at a younger age, begin to brainwash them that they should go and be fighting jihadist war. Meanwhile, their own children, they send them abroad or they put them in base environments, give them everything they need to nourish their brain. Because nutrition and environmental factors and what you will take in at a younger age determines the development of our brain, even that of the frontal lobe. So it's what you put in that brain, what you expose the brain to, that will determine the quality of one's mind or brain. So what the Marjories, I'm not going to, because I don't want to take too much of your time. What the Marjories, the Fulanis, the leaders, elites have done is what they're introducing to us. So what do I mean? One of the factors, or few of the factors that can affect somebody's frontal lobe development or brain development in general is what you call social cultural status, which is economic. It's one of them. Now, why I'm invoking this is this. Why I say that there may be a correlation, not a direct connection. All this thing started at the end of the so-called civil war, which is the genocide the Nigerian government carried against us as Biafrans. They gave everybody 20 pounds. That thing has a very enormous impact. So what did the people begin to scramble for economic values? Once they begin to scramble for economic values, people now did not pay attention to their children. Children were lacking nutrition. Everybody was struggling, scrambling to survive. Survival of the fittest. It affects the development of the brain, because now what you're telling the society or these children is that you must, all about life is about trying to make money. And because the children were not well fed and not nourished well, it brings what you call the stress. The stress affects the development of the brain. Like I said, I'm not here to teach, because I already taught it. So what I'm bringing in essence is that pay attention, Mazi. We must pay attention. Even what happened at Opi Wake gave chills to me. For the first time in my life, I'm seeing a whole amount of Igbo youths in a place acting like the Amajiris. That thing should be an alarm bell to all of us. That was the first time in my life our children hanging around the Hay Bridge have turned into Amajiri in our own eyes, and nobody's saying anything. I'm going to drop here, Mazi. So what I'm trying to say is that just like the Fulanis use their religion to turn their children into Alamite, because their children are suffering the same thing they want to bring to us. That's what they're bringing to us. Our children now are beginning to go into that. Now, how can I invoke that religion has a correlation to it? When they brought religion to us, what the religion did was begin to take us away from the values of our ancestors, which one of them was hard work, making sure that you work hard to sustain your life. There was nothing like this abracadabra 24-hour miracle. That's where religion is coming in. Once you got our people in that phase that you don't have to work hard, then you can make money. That's why you begin to see the Okite syndrome. You don't have to work hard. All you have to come to me is to make Okite for you. You will make money. All you have to go is go to a pastor and he will tell you to sow seed, 24-hour miracle. That's a phase. Once they got ourselves in that religious conundrum, now the second phase is what we're experiencing now. Because now the frontal lobe is not needing all the elements, all the things it needs to develop in the right where you can make critical thinking. Mazi, maybe I'll bring it on Saturday, because I don't want to overwhelm your time so others can call it. But I just want to chip this in because it is very, very important for us to know what is happening now. They are phase by phase. They are trying to turn our land into that of their imagery, and we can never allow it to happen. Mazi, thank you so much. God bless you.
Of course, you are right. That is a Nigerianization, turning us gradually into Almajiri in a way. Caller on what's up? Welcome to the program. Can you hear me? Caller on what's up?
Yes, I can hear you.
Mazi, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Good evening to you. Mazi, Professor Jonathan, that Elohim has been refining your mind. He is refining, giving you wisdom and understanding, opening your frontal lobe of reasoning to be able to analyze, to discern, to understand in details life and system of life is all about. I thank Elohim for you, my brother, and for giving you to Biafrans as a gift. We appreciate it. We appreciate you. Good evening to all Biafrans, to our leader Mazi, Nnamdi Kanu, where you are. May Elohim protect you with jealousy, that no evil power will near or dare to come close to you. May he protect you with jealousness, because you are the apple of his eyes, and bring you out safely. Please, you have said it all. You have opened our brain. You have made our brain to reason more, to think more, to sit down and reason and think critically, and even develop even how the system of Biafra should be run, and to understand the problem, what Biafra government should not take into anything play, to make sure that anything corruption, to understand and they reason and in detail what can cause, how far corruption can decimate society from up, down, in every aspect of life, to children, elderly, from school society, from security, if they do understand this, it will enable them to give them heart to make a law that anybody caught, convicted, option, there will be nothing like jail. They've looked at strong hearts, without mercy, without compromise, that there is nothing like jail. It has to be beheading. Put the person in the cage, build an axe, lift it up very sharp, and release it. You come down with the force and cut the person's neck. It will make other people, when they see it, they will never ever dare to loot the force that run the system of government. And you see the problem we are facing, my brother. The hatred for Biafran is numerous. It's too much. It's overwhelming. That we can imagine how like too much it is. The hatred that our enemies, the Luciferians, the vultures instigated in the people of Nigeria and in the Westerners to hate Biafrans without even knowing our background, without even knowing who we are, without even knowing our story, our history. The type of people who are, that we have never invaded anybody, caused war, destroyed, killed, since our history. That is since the inception of Nigeria, we are the only race in that enclave, in that is zoological republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria, that has been killed, decimated, annihilated, and programmed. Even like this one they committed against Jews, to make sure that we did not exist. Our problem started at, I remember, Jonathan, one day you said, when God of Israel sent Moshe to go and deliver his from Egypt, that Elohim made him to understand that he is the God of their ancestors. That when they ask you, who sent you? That you should tell them that he is the God of their ancestors, that gave the ancestors the way of life that they should follow to connect with him, so that they will know, so that they will not follow, be like a wobbling water in a plastic. They will know whom they are and they stand firm, no matter any incursion, any trouble, any temptation, any sweet talking, any to convince you to leave your way. So they know that you are coming from the right source. That triggered me, our problem. Triggered me, and they gave me more knowledge and understanding of the name that we bear. I said to myself, why are we not answering Jesus Debere? Jesus Sebuka, Jesus, which Jesus, Jesus, he would. Why no one is declaring his son that name? But what we say is Chuku Emeka, Chuku Bike. This one, nobody gave it to us. This one, you can say that this one is from the inception of our existence. That we will name and give our name to glorify our God, the God of our ancestors. That should be what the Biafrans, the God the Biafrans should be calling, following the law, the way he gave to our ancestors. We must investigate to find out where the corruption came from. Who corrupted the system of our ancestors? Because each and every generation, like you said, our reasoning, this, Kyoto made it in a way, has a way you reach, you stop. The other generation will continue. If you come to this generation, you follow the God of our ancestors, then you develop our culture to the extent, to that development of that generation. Then the other generation will come to the extent when there will be a stage where they will know that they have to write it down, so that the structure, the law, the system of our value system of our God will not be disseminated, so that everyone will know. Nobody will come and lie. Will know it. Each and every generation will know.
There, Mazi.
This is what we failed to do. This is what we failed, and that is why the glory departed from us. And then when, I'm gonna finish now, when the Luciferians came and they conquer us, mix us with the vultures from the north, because the glory departed from us. Our own God gave them glory to override us. When looking at us, we are like, our glory could not lift us because he has departed. We are following another way.
There, thank you.
Now, Elohim, more wisdom, discipline. That's how we are going to conquer our enemy. Nigeria has every.
There, Mazi, there are many people that are on the line. Please.
Nigeria.
There,
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
There, thank you. Remain blessed. Please, when I say try to minimize your statements, there are many people. Caller on direct line. There are many people waiting. Caller on direct line. Can you hear me? Caller on direct line. Please go on. Very quickly. Caller on direct line. Are you there? No. Okay. Caller on signal. Caller on signal. The platform is yours. Can you hear me?
Yes, Professor Jonathan.
There we go on, please. Go on, Mazi. Go on, Mazi. Don't stop.
Okay, thank you, Professor Jonathan. Thank you. Good evening from my side. Your brother Mazi Celestine Ogba, the region of Biafra, precisely near Pueblo. Professor Jonathan, I think this issue of critical thinking and the development of frontal lobes has much to do with our organic nature. And if I have to expatiate on this, I will primarily tell you that this very issue, I will probably tell you that this very issue, the causes of the colonialism, because one thing is how they made us to adopt English language. Secondly, the polluted education that they brought to us. Thirdly, the religion. So, Professor Jonas, what these aforementioned factors target is our mental capacity, which were reshaped from the way God created us as a natural human from where we are. I mean, from our own geographical location. So thing completely turned us upside down because what he targeted was our mental capacity. And this mental capacity is not something that you can take away from our advancement, because based on our ability to develop ourselves and the reason. This has much to do with our ability to think and development of our frontal lobes. So these were destroyed because there is no how we can borrow foreign religion and you will want us to advance in our own pace progressively. It cannot happen because we are no longer natural, but we are just existing as fake by our way of trying to mimic things, which have the capacity to destroy our organic creation. So those are things. The Funanis we are talking about are secondary because what the Britain planted is what the Funani tries to continue to how do I even just put it? But I understand that you know what I'm talking about. So Professor Jonas, he was in this hollow chamber of Radio Biafra that our leader told us that when the Britain advanced to the north, that the Hausa indigenous people already produced gun. Why were they able to do that? They were able to do that because they advances organically. That was the reason. But for us to subject ourselves to this fake kind of life that they have implanted in us has much to do with our retardation to grow as organic human. So those were the things, Professor Jonas. And what IPOB is doing now is a damage control to bring us back from where we've gone astray to our organic nature, so that the process of rebuilding that can develop what or we can mend what we have missed over the years is exactly what is happening today. And there is no other way to it other than what we are doing, because it's through this that we can now regain our value. And once we regain our value, then every other things can fall in place. So that is it. We cannot really say that it was the war, the 20 contributed, but the primary factor was this foreign religion that they imposed in us. And when they imposed this in us, we were forced by a kind of intimidation into total submission. And when you were intimidated into submission, mind you that it is a kind of, you've abandoned your organic origin to something else that is unknown to you, that were forced to take and they benefit. So thereby destroying you organically. And there is no how that for you to attend to that organic creation again, is for you to begin to go back to the origin, rediscovering yourself, which is what we are doing today. So, Professor Jonas, having said this, I will have to stand out and give some other of our comrades chance to make their input. Thank you so much. We shall continue to do what we are doing, and hopefully sooner than later Biafra will come.
Of course.
I must say Biafra, Professor Jonas.
There were. Of course. You give a very good example of the Hausa advancement before. What stopped it? Hausa that we are manufacturing this dengon. As of that time, dyeing clothes and exporting textiles. But when Fulani came into their life and brought another extreme ideology, it made them stop on their development and advancement and start afresh from that new ideology. That's it. Caller on Mazi Aizayoba, welcome to the program. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mazi, can you hear me?
The whole world is hearing you. Welcome to the program, Mazi.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good evening, Biafrans and lovers of freedom and our listeners. My name remains Mazi Aizayoba, and I'm reaching you from the Republic of Ireland. Thank you very much, my brother. You are doing a very fantastic job. I was listening with rapt attention from the beginning of your program till now, and I was raging with anger in myself, which I believe many of IPOBs who are hardliners, are hard thinkers of what we are doing, is doing the same thing, which many of them have called here. The question that my brother called from Ireland here, the guy, the Dublin PRO, he asked a very critical question, very nice question as well. And Mariam Heda also responded very well, and a few other ones that I have spoken after that. The reason why I wanted to touch a little bit on the point that my brother raised from Dublin here, and few other things that some of you have responded is that our forefathers they did a lot of findings. Like we all know, they discovered the food we are eating that is sustaining us till today, and the younger generation have not they have not done anything after that or make a new discovery. Our forefathers have gone beyond, and remember as well that our forefathers also they discover aluminiums, materials that they can use to make they melt it. They call it blast meat. That's what they call it in those days. They call it blast meat. They know the material they discovered. They know where to go and find it. They will melt it with a very heavy fire, and also they will, they'll mold it to their own choice or to the shape they wanted. So that was critical thinking. Our forefathers were advancing very well, and they were also masterpiece in what they are doing, and also they were advancing. But to be honest with you, I can agree with some people here that this development or this advancement was interrupted during and after the war. Also before 1945. Remember, also these people invaded our land, and the King Jaja of Opopo resisted them, because also they know, they understand the game that these people came to do. And these scavengers, these Europeans also went to our communities, killed the village leaders or community leaders that actually resisted them when they were bringing their own ideology to contradict with the one they have on ground, which our forefathers at that time found out that is dangerous to our existence. They resisted them, but unfortunately, as we still facing the same challenges today, these people managed to connive with some of our people, and they were able to lay a siege on those community leaders, which they cut their head off and put their head in the stick and use it to go around the community. When our people sees that, they were traumatized, seeing the head of their community leaders, their husbands, being their head being put on a stick and being, by strangers going around the city to intimidate. The same thing you are seeing today, that the Nigerian government will shoot our people, our mothers, and our children in a market using some of this, parasites and this agent of provocateurs, that is going around now, that decided to attack our own people in a marketplace rather than attacking the Fulanis, the way you see also the Gubagos are doing. So what I'm saying in essence is that what we are facing today and what interrupted the advancement of our critical thinking from the onset is well programmed by the Europeans, by the British you are seeing today that invaded our land from centuries ago, and they are still around to today, destroying the advancement of the frontal lobbying system we have in among our people. Now, one of it was the time of 1967, which all of us can read today. They killed a lot of our people, destroyed our men, and destroyed our democratical system, if you like, which they adopted to their own today. And now the same thing they are doing as we are speaking today. Now, if you look at our environment now, our people that cultivate yams, cassavas, rice, you name it, tubers, anything that that sustains our people that we know, we are familiar with. What you're seeing that is happening in our society today, I can tell you 110% attack we are having from the Fulani Janjaweed are spearheaded and aided and abetted by the British. Why are they doing this? Because they want our people to depend on their foreign food, which they'll be importing in our land. That is exactly what we are. The same thing. The same way they interrupted the advancement, development here now. That is exactly what they are even doing in this generation. Now, I can hold the young generation. I can hold them accountable, ourselves. Despite that we are doing something now, I can hold the young generations and the generation after our fathers, accountable, because our fathers, my own father was also was also in Biafran war. They resisted when they see the second or the third batch of these invaders coming to destroy us. They resisted. They did everything. The manufacturer also then gone themselves. They were able to repel this army of Armageddon that come to destroy our people and destroy our way of life. But the fight did not continue from the generation after that, which also sending us even worse than where we are. It has destroyed us completely. If not that the emergence of Mazi, Nnamdi, Kanu, and IPOB that is trying to reverse those systems that has been destroyed, getting us now to start thinking. They're going to look back to where we have lost the track. How did our parents mess up? How did our grandfathers? Where did we get this wrong? But still, you can see the hands of British in the Fulanis that we are seeing in our land today, arming and abetting these people to go into our farms, to go into where our people are developing, to go into our market, anything that has to do with the industry. You remember how they came and attacked this guy, what's his name? Innocent. If not this IPOB, they attacked him financially, they attacked him physically, they attacked a Fulani man slapped Innocent's wife. Just to destroy mentally, to bring them down. So, but it's quite unfortunate that we have these house niggers we know today as the politicians and governors that they put in place, that also, if you trace the birth of these people, I can tell you some of these governors are being Fulani descendants that were, their mothers impregnated, were impregnated during and after the war. You can look at their age grade. You will see that these people are the ones that actually, that their mothers mess up with the Fulanis. And they know them. They knows them. The British can track them. The Fulani can know who can represent them. As you mentioned, as Obiozo did. Now, Obiozo has the chance, the opportunity to at least to leave a legacy, knowing that he has little time left for him. But Obiozo decided not to do anything. Rather, he handed even the little time he had to serve the Fulani interest. Now, he has gone now, and he has lived something that we will fight God knows when we come out of this. But this sin, he had the opportunity to at least to help us, to bring at least to impact a knowledge, to help the young generation to come out of this quagmire that we have, out of our own ignorance, will I say that, that put us where we are today. Because had it been the generations after our parents, our grandfathers, our forefathers, realized that there was something wrong, like Agri Yunosi was messing around, what's his name, Azikiwe, could not even decode that. Had it been that these people, think back, how did we come here? This thing that we are doing is going to harm the younger generations, the people that will come after them. They would have done something that would have given us more, opportunity now to achieve what we supposed to achieve. Save us all that we are losing now. And this is something that I will rather blame the generation that is after our forefathers. That the British, I know that the British are still fighting very hard. They are still doing their dirty work. They are talking about climate change. That is what is pushing the Fulanis all the way from Niger to Biafra land. But nobody is talking the oil pollution. What is worse than oil pollution that we have in our land, in the whole Biafra land? Oil pollution, our rivers, our ecosystem completely destroyed. And these people are talking about weather change and all these things, and all this rubbish they are talking. Why you have destroyed our own ecosystem? The little space we have now, they are pushing the Fulanis to stop our people from farming, so that our people will completely depend on Indomie, depend on what the British are producing and sending to us. Whether they are poisonous, the Fulanis will have sex with Namas and they will push it to our people. They will sleep with the goat. They will push it to our people. Our people now are completely depending on importation of the production of the British, which the Indians, the Magandi you are talking about, also spotted that earlier, but was able to stop it. You see, but our own people who are in the same generation of Magandi did not stop that. Our parents have managed to do something and leave the race for the upcoming generation to amend it, to correct it, which are the governors you are seeing now, did not do that. And this is exactly what led to where we are today. Let me just leave it here, Mazi. Thank you very much for the job you're doing. It's quite heartbreaking, and we are not going to stop. To be honest, we are not going to stop. We have come, and we will fight this until our people are totally free from this from these clutches of the enemy. Thank you very much for what you're doing, and remain blessed. Thank you.
There were Mazi Isayoba. There were Mazi. There were. Remain blessed. Like what he said, the worst thing that happened to us is stopping the war, fighting a war like this, a war of independence, of freedom, and stopping. Going back to where you come from. That is the worst miscalculation that our people. You don't hear it anywhere. Where people fought a war like this and they halfway they stop. It doesn't matter the pain. That is why we are not going to stop. Because once we stop, we enter into more quagmire, more slavery than before. It doesn't matter what they bring. No victor, no vanquish. Okay, OAU come and they came and administer they referee the whole thing. No victor, no, that is rubbish. Rubbish. We shouldn't stop. War of independence, fighting for independence should be a generational thing. That is it. And we know it. Caller on, let me see. Caller on direct line. Can you hear me? Callers, please hold on. Caller on WhatsApp. Caller on direct line, please go on. Can you hear me? Go on.
This is Ndana, Mother. Uncle, I thank you for being here today. I thank you, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Never been on the music and Mazi, I actually have been waiting for a day like this. I have caught you. Don't be angry because I was following you up and I finally find out that today is the day that I will let you know that Christianity has done a lot for us. It's just that our people, decided to run away from the ways of God, like we were asked to follow. Now, if you read from the book of, if you read from the Holy Book, it says, train a child, in the ways of God. When he grows up, he will follow it. You see, our ancestors refused to show us the ways of God, and that is why we are suffering. You look at every minimum or maximum graduate in the so-called Biafra land or maybe Nigeria, none of them can produce a phone. We are now following the ways of the God, like Iteani Upopia. None of us knows Jesus Christ. None of us knows the wisdom of Solomon and all that. So we are just making things difficult for ourselves until we go back to church and confess our sins. God will not listen to our prayer, all these things we are talking about.
Mazi, I know.
You see, because I'm seeing it that Christianity, it has done a lot for us. You see,
Mazi, I know.
Christianity has
Mazi,
given
can
us
you hear
what
me?
you're talking about.
Can you hear me?
Sir, I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you, sir.
I know that you always talk in a satirical way, satire. But, I don't want us to start entering deep into religious discussion, please. You know, let's leave it till Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Saturday. I put hand with you.
Of course. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
body line too much.
Of course.
Other man.
There
But
you see, I know. He always speaks in a reverse. He wants to play always the devil's advocate for people to learn. I understand. That's what he used to do. Caller on signal. What's up? Welcome to the program. Thank you for holding on for 22 minutes.
Thank you, Mazi Jonathan. Ndewo, sir.
Welcome to the program.
Ndewo. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Let me start by acknowledging that I failed. My generation failed. This generation that we are, just between us and our parents, it's not that far from that. Between 1970, late 60s to 70s is where this failure came in place. I want our people to understand that the British has been in this game for over 1,000 years, or less than that. So the system they use
more than that,
in
Britain
Nigeria,
has independence from Roman Empire 412 AD. England.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So whatever we are seeing happen today is a system, gradually systematical extermination and taking over, making sure that people don't rise up. But I think Biafra will be the last miracle on earth. I think it will be the end of British Empire, because it has fallen already. This whole thing are working together between the Christianity they brought earlier. It was Mary, the Cecil, and the rest of them that came to tell us what we know. And they said they are the one who knows it. And the rest of them, the schools and the rest of them, they brought to us. These are systems. The worst case scenario that happened is in 1950, they introduced the Assemblies of God Church, which are now the one of the church in the Koraka or Pentecostal churches. That one come to play a very big vital role to what is happening to our people today, because the only people that agree in all this, both the Pentecostal church and also the Catholic and the Roman Catholic, are the Igbos. Every other culture maintain their culture. Yoruba were accepting their religion with one hand, and the other hand, they were holding, the right hand were holding their culture and their values. But the Igbo man hand over their values to the British Empire that now mess up our brain. But it was us that fell. Most of us, look at us now. Between 1975 till most of us have run away from our land. Before there was no that number. All of us are in diaspora, but that was for a reason now, returning back to go and take over our land. I think God wanted it in that way. But we should not go far by looking what happened to us. Mazi, me and you have said this in this program before. Remember, we were growing up. My father married 4 wives. Everything was good. We were a member of Catholic. Everybody was having fun. Nope. As soon as my mother changed to Catholic, to Pentecostal church, the heaven was very close to us then. I think 82, 83. I think we were about to go to heaven, to leave even our father's house and move to heaven the next day. I wasn't very sure if the heaven was not even very close to our house then. Up to now, we're still on the way, So now the last thing I'm going to say is the thing. Few days back, you had a program. The Fulani giving instructions calling medias and talking and talking and talking. But what Igbo Congress, Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, we are thanking the governor for trying to look for a solution in Enugu State, in Yamufu. And then later the governor said he cannot find a solution. What Igbo Congress cannot even issue a press statement. One day I was in a meeting with these people, and they said, professors, doctors, some of them say they are going to talk to the governor. They mentioned something that got me angry. And then I said I will never be in a meeting with such people before. Elderly people, America and the rest of them. They mentioned something. Oh, we are World Igbo Congress. We are not IPOB. And I said, Chris, can I ask a question?
These people are the most annoying. You see these people, professors, you see them, when you hear them speak on issues, nothing more. Mazi, please go on. They are the most annoying.
Now, this man mentioned and said we are not. I asked him, as an elderly man like you, I am here as an IPOB calling from this country, and we are having this meeting of how to come and do national raising money for South Africa. And you that's supposed to be directing me, and you're telling me that you're World Igbo Congress, you're not IPOB. What is the meaning of IPOB? I asked him. You say, no, we are Biafrans, just that our. I said, but please, can we not use that comment again? Now, why I'm bringing this up is that we have our elders who are supposed to be in the land teaching our people our cultures, are in America and the other part of the world eating burger and calling themselves, we are this group, we are that group. I said the people that destroy this culture we are looking for now, or who we are, it's not far between me and my father. It's not far away. It's not our ancestors. Our ancestors did very, very good. Just like what Mazi Yuba said, we stopped. Forget about even the Zik himself. Zik was doing very well. He was here and there, until they say you have committed. No, we are going to expose you. You know, just like exactly what happened to Wazulike. It is us frustrating ourselves. Somebody is saying, I'm going to kill you and put a flag of Biafra. Say you are an IPOB member. And it's a Biafran. It is not far from us. But you know what? I am very, very happy to be in this generation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that is revising us back to who we are. I am not offended by the last caller. If he wants to be in the church, let him be inside the church. Our ancestors never have anything to do with the church, but they did a lot of nice things for us. And they teach us the way we should go. We accepted to move into the church, and these people who are colonizing us, who brought this church to tell us that we don't need to be in our shrine, calling our ancestors. We need to be calling the ancestors of the white people. Who is this person that is St. Paul? Is it Okike? Or that person that is called the and the rest is Hannah Papa. That person is he Mazi a former. I got on there, he's telling me anybody that it has nothing to do with my ancestors. I must go inside the church and call the name of these fools that come and destroy the well-being of my people. How my people were living before they came. They were peaceful. You sleep with your house open. You go, you put money inside of an orange of your house. You come and tell me about church. These people, some of them in my community commit so much crime, and they were knights in so many churches. They were pastors in some of the organizations. But when they were about to die, they were confessing the evil thing they do. They do all these evil things. They ran inside the church. You know, your program today, everybody would like to be part of it. It's very annoying. Very, very annoying.
There, Mazi. It is.
We'll return back.
Of course, it is. We are happy to be part of this. This is a part of the awakening, the renaissance. You know, that's why I always say, if you are genuinely IPOB family member, you are not here for money or for position or for contacts or any other thing other than to contribute your own quota, what you can, your effort in making sure we realize our goal. I'm telling you, call yourself a saint. I've been saying this and I continue repeating it. It's not those that care for money. It's not those that care for any other thing. Just for you to genuinely contribute your own quota in this journey. Because it is a selfless service. You are sent. Forget about those that they brought to us, the names there, as Mazi said. They give us a standard of God. The most demented people that they use, made us to condemn our ancestors. It never happened other places. Other races never happened. They did everything, even if it is fighting, if they cannot fight all, they use negotiation, say, look, leave us in our own way. We can do any other thing, but allow us. We will not follow you in this your own way, complete, in your own religion. No. It's only in Africa that they erase everything, and we accepted hook, line, and sinker. We swallowed everything. And the only people that hate their ancestors is only black race. Only. Other cultures, other races in Asia, in every other place, they revere their ancestors. At least they continue where they stopped. They revere their ancestors. But it's only in Africa, in our land, that they turn us against our ancestors. People that came and colonized us and carried us and killed us, slaughtered us in our millions. These are the people that we call saviors. They come to save us. There is nothing like you see brainwashing. It does wonders. Caller on direct line. Welcome to the program. Can you hear me? There we
from Obingaba, Biafra. I'm calling from the Republic of it's not easy. It's only those who is in spirit to understand what we are teaching. What we are teaching here is enlightenment, command. And the ability to reason like human being, not reason like a Christian or a Muslim. It's not easy. You see, today, even today, when I was a medical people in my business center today, I was lecturing somebody how we abandon our thoughts and now moving out with a white man to swallow everything. And now we bring the cost of our ancestors. They tell them this and that. Even our language, people don't even lost their language. They said coming up for Hamadika, the savior that we have today. Even our culture, everything. Even in Shadow today, the people are here because of coming up for Hamadika. You see? So a woman just come out and try to interrupt the letter I was lecturing people because he had me saying what the political criminal person are in partnership with the government that are killing their own people. He tried to tell me, I do not judge it. It is God that will judge it. And I ask her a question. So if somebody is doing evil in the umbrella of in the name of the church that we are attending, then you will not caution that person that what you are doing is not good. This is we are doing is evil. And I ask you now, in that zoo, the only fact that in that today is Hamadike. Why did they put him in prison? It's not because he's standing for the truth. He's standing for the masses. He's fighting to liberate people because you know that people are in hellfire. But he has so called man of God, all of them who claim that they talk together with the God for one table. All of them is supporting the government in order to kill my leader in prison. But they are the people that are supporting the government to kill my leader. But my leader is the only man, the only truthful man, the only man of God who stands by the truth. Now, who is judging my leader today? Who is putting him in prison? Why we are so poor in Nigeria, government did not wait for Allah to come and hold Nnamdi to God come and hold Nnamdi and judge him. But today, it's physical human beings that are judging Nnamdi today. It's there because he stands by the truth. This is that you people are hypocrites. Now, I'm asking a question again. Who judged Reverend King? Why government did not wait? Let Allah come and judge Reverend King. If you know who is Reverend King, who judged him? Why did not ask Allah, Allah, come and judge Reverend King? Why they did not ask Allah or God, come and judge Obiano when Obiano leave office in Anambra State? This is why you people are hypocrites, because you people does not come by the truth you claim that you preach. And I ask again, in that Bible we are reading, they tell us that what is separate Lot and Abraham, because it's because Abraham own was creation, why his sister own was creation. They were trying to cause problems between each other. Then Abraham now said, no. He said, this is our part to try to transfer from their own band to another. So that if they fight, our car takes away from the man will set ourselves peacefully so that we will remain as we make us separate peacefully away. And they separate. So that's the way that they preach when they inside the Bible today. That ain't happen for Nigeria. Full and his men don't start from the north. And what I reach our land, they massacre our people. They kill everywhere, both the south and the west. Everybody they run, they shout. Why are so poor man of God in that zoo never come out and feed that truth where they claim say they believe on? But today, they are some people supporting the government that are bringing Fulani henchmen, Boko Haram, that get all the whole terrorists to kill their own people. But they are so poor man of God in that zoo, the criminal political man of God in that zoo, are in partnership with the same government that's sponsoring the Fulani henchmen to kill their people. Now, who is the man of God in that zoo? That was what I was asking her. She ran away. She ran away. Because these people, they don't know the truth, but they can't know the truth. They are hypocrites. In any government of the world, if you say you're so poor man of God, they give you any job to do, or assignment, or any work in any place, and the investing money did not do their job. The government is going to take you and jail you, and you take the law of the land. Now, why don't you say, no, the government, you know, arrest this man, you know, he's a man of God, he's a pastor, you know, he's a bishop, because government is overall everybody. And who is government? Government is Nnamdi. It's not me that made the law. It's Nnamdi that will judge you, because there's no law. You are going to behave like an animal. So, as we are claiming, that is the worst. That they have watched all of you. I say that you are so religious brainwashed, because that is what they are oppressor. If you don't want give to you for you to defend, as they are killing you doing evil, they will not pitch for you. You know, judge, so you be afraid. You can never stand and challenge what is evil they are doing. But we IPOT, we are no longer in that religious brainwash. We are now reasoning like a real human being. Since I have been following this high institution, which is the Radio Biafra, I'm now reasoning like a real human being. I'm no longer reasoning like a black man. I'm not reasoning like a Nigerian. I am reasoning like a real human being, because I've written to reason. That is what makes you a human being. I'm not reasoning like a Christian, because I'm no longer a Christian. I'm who I am. I'm a Biafran. I'm IPOT. So I reason like a real human being, because it is common sense and enlightenment, ability to reason, and and history. That is what we are learning from Radio Biafra. Ability to reason, enlightenment. I'm no longer reading like a typical black man or one Nigerianist. Everyone Nigerianist. If you face them to ask them questions, Mazi, none of them can be able to answer you, because you defeat them front and back. They know nothing. Nothing is in their brain. Nothing is in their brain. I defeat all of them. So that is my own duty. I let them tell them about what is coming to happen and what is happening. So, Mazi, my name is Chika. I'm signing from community. Good night.
Thank you very much. The last caller, I think, on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp, you'll be the last caller. Welcome to the program. Please go
on. Mazi Jonathan, good evening from here.
Mazi.
May Chukwukabiyama continue to give you the wisdom and understanding to keep on preaching this gospel of redemption, gospel of hope, gospel of freedom. Continue also in this year 2023 to give every IPOB ezigbo ụmụ Chineke, not infiltrators, not agent provocateurs, the real IPOB under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and GOS. God will continue to embalm us, give us every strength we need to continue to fight for this freedom of Biafra until it's being restored. And most especially, Chukwokike release our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu so speedily and in good health that together all of us will continue to fight until this freedom we are fighting is being restored. He said. Mazi Jonathan, all that you said this evening, we are listening and we've been educated on 1st of January 2023 by our HOD Mazi Chikadosium and the wife of our leader, very intelligent woman who came in to advise us Biafrans what we should do, and also telling those who their frontal lobe is not working to begin to reason like a human being. Mazi Nnamdi came and took a hand and begin to knock into our brains, because the way we are reasoning now, we IPOB that follows Mazi Nnamdi is not the way we are reasoning in 5 years ago. It depends when you enter, when you come into this struggle. Our mindset have changed, the way we reason have changed, everything has changed. So we are asking these people, when we look at what these people are doing in our land, I begin to laugh. I said, if these people know how IPOB is formidable in this thing, in what we are doing, they won't be doing this thing they are doing, because we are not going to stop. It cannot happen in this generation, because all this suffering we are suffering all over the world, Mazi, none of us is happy. We have a land where God has blessed, where we can go back and have good life. Somebody from outside came reaping what is inside in my own land. Why? I ran to somewhere I can't understand. They're walking like elephant and receiving peanuts. Mazi, before God and man, this thing that the Europe came to do in our land, though anybody can say whatever you want to say, our ancestors try to do as they can, but these people, what they do is that when they saw how powerful our ancestors were trying to repel them, what they do is to collide with our own people to begin to kill our people. The same thing King Leopold did in Congo. A man from Europe here came to Africa, begin to chop the hands of Africans. Who was helping him to do that job? The same African people was helping this man to catch his own brother, put his hand and chop up the hands of his own people. This is how the black man reasons, because the frontal lobe of us is not working. A Ghana man was teaching and he said there's something wrong with the black man. There's something wrong with the brain of a black man. People were looking at him and thought, he said something is with the black man. How can white man come in your own country? What you cannot do in his own country, he will come to you and do it. If you talk, they will kill you and not rise up to bear them. The same issue we are talking about now. See, look at how 5 governors call themselves idiots who call themselves 5. They went to the same London who kept us where we are today to go and make a meeting how they are going to govern Nigeria. You see yourself a black man. These are the people who call themselves governor. These are the people who are calling themselves intellectual. People calling themselves we are educated. Living your own country, you did not see any space. A whole political republic. There is no space where you can do anything than to go to the same master who came to suffer your own grandfather, who you have become a puppet. You went there to go and discuss. It shall never be well with these people. IPOB under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and DOS, we have made up mind that what we are doing, we are not going to stop until Biafra is restored. Without Biafra, we are all finished. Even our children, our unborn children, the so-called Congress, they have children. Even anywhere they belong, all their children will go into oblivion. All their children. Some of them will marry Chinese. Some of them will, they will never have children that can come back to Biafra land. This is why we have made up our mind, Mazi. We can't allow our children to marry people that they're not supposed to marry. Generation cannot lose. This is why we are doing everything we are in our human, in our power to make sure that this Biafra will fight people. And most especially, the most release having a Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He has done no wrong. All his actions, the freedom of my people, let us go. Allow us to go. We have never come to occupy any other land. We only asking that this land that you has given to us, we want to have it back from the enemies. Look at Fulani coming. Oh, Mazi, thank God for this real Biafra. Thank God for this mindset we have today. The worst thing you can do to somebody is when somebody have changed his mindset and accept, take an ideology inside his brain, you cannot remove it. We have changed, our mindset have changed. We cannot stop until Biafra is restored, Mazi. This is what we are saying. The whole world should be our witness that we are calling them. Come now and do the needful. Because if you think the way they killed us, through starvation, not even through war. They starved our people. This is one of the reasons why we lost that war. Because if you don't have food in your stomach, how can you fight a war? This time around, we have learned from what happened to our fathers, and it cannot repeat itself anymore. They should leave us alone. Mazi, bless you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
It's
Mazi Akat calling from Moscow.
Amen. Blessed. Whether we are not begging them to leave us, but we are removing ourselves from them. That is it. This is where I'm going to switch off the phones, please. Biafrans and lovers of freedom. What we do here is to propagate the word, propagate the gospel of emancipation, something that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has started. Do you see how things go? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started this, one man, or just a group of few people, one man. And after it continued till today, and it will continue forever. Even if Biafra comes, Radio Biafra will not stop. You understand? That is how life is. So, the building or advancement or advancing a nation is not something that you do after you stop. You continue just like a relay race. Others, once you are tired, either by age or anything, others will continue. So it's not something you do and stop. That is the worst mistake we made. Stopping. We stop it. Also, like one of the things that contribute, I used to blame Azikiwe till tomorrow. Because when he's supposed to, apart from being colonized, okay, when he's supposed to negotiate, have something solid for us as Biafrans, as Igbos, lo and behold, he allowed himself to be blackmailed. Because I cannot excuse him for being blackmailed. You are always blackmailed because of what you want, your goal, your selfish interest. They use it to blackmail you. If it's somebody that a person that lies like all this, how to recruit, somebody, top officials into working, manipulated, recruit into working for a secret agent or a foreign secret agent or agency. They can be manipulated, they can be blackmailed into it. Through, if it is somebody that likes a woman or a woman that likes man, they can use it to blackmail you into submission. So you are always blackmailed with something you like, you want, your selfish interest. It could be money, it could be anything. It becomes a weak point. So there is a weak point on Azikiwe, wanting to be the president of Nigeria at all costs. Let me tell you, Ahmad Bello, that fought for the northernization agenda, he's supposed to be the, if you want, he could have been at the forefront. He was the person that even gave the opportunity to Tafawa Balewa. You understand? He went at the background in order to remain the premier of the north, premier of the northern Nigeria, and allow the Tafawa Balewa say, go to the forefront, become the prime minister. No problem. Let me remain where I am as the premier of the north. I'm satisfied with the north because I'm fighting for northernization agenda. What makes Azikiwe not to do something like that? To show that as he see that, oh, Britain is trying to blackmail him, put him into borrowing money, bad debt, in order to manipulate him. He's supposed to sense that and withdraw and use another tactics. The only thing that is constant in life is change. You can change, you can meander your way. That is how sharp human beings act. But he must be president. The same thing that is happening today. It doesn't matter what is happening. Oh, but yeah, well, I will be president. If I enter there, I will change everything. They don't care about reason any longer. What matters is that thing, using Aganili. He doesn't care again about anything. Bring him to reason. Bring him back and say, let us reason. This thing you are going to, how is he going? Okay, imagine after 4 years or 8 years of your reign, of your ruling, how is he go? What about our people? How are they? No, Nigeria, I know. Oh, Nigeria will make. That is one very bad character of an average Igbo politician. Very, very bad character. Once they focus on that, they don't see reason again. No more. To be the president, he must be it. It doesn't matter what his people will be. It doesn't matter the cost to the people. That is not his problem. That is what was started by Azikiwe. Had it been with, imagine that Azikiwe didn't allow himself to be cajoled. He said, even if he didn't become the president or prime minister, he start negotiating at the early time for his people. Say, no, this one wants an northernization agenda. I will do easternization agenda to my people. There is no need. What do you think that would have been the result? That is a food for thought. So there are many, many ways. That is why I call our people that we are primitive. When it comes to political thinking, we don't have it. We don't calculate. We are not calculative on the future of our people, how our region will be. Apart from this, my interest, my personal interest of being president, of being in this position, after me, what next? George Obiozor is dead. George Obiozor is dead. No matter, notwithstanding his, being political in serving our interests. He doesn't serve our interests. But had it been he come up every time openly to talk about our interests, he died with honor. We will remember him as somebody that laid a good legacy for our interests. But lo and behold, no. They set a standard for us in Nigeria as an illusion, using illusion. Nigeria in religion, the same, everything. They set a standard for us all around. While the caliphate is talking about the North, talking about their people. All that matters to Igbo man is Nigeria. Why do they put our population as officially in Google as 32.4? I mean 34.2 million. and the 15.2, which is life from the pit of hell. Now, ask Igbo man, do you see it? How will you say? No, it's not. It's official now. It's what they put. So no problem. Take it like that. But you go to the Fulani, they are they change, they do things. They work hard to do things to build their own. That is the difference. Therefore, we will never stop in what we are doing. Never. Any person that is talking of stopping, you know that even you are demented. We are not stopping. It doesn't matter what they throw at us. Today, infiltrate us. Tomorrow, IPOB youth wing. Next tomorrow, bring a tripod again. Another time, bring another person. Oh, he's a leader. No, we cannot stop. You can never break IPOB. I'm not better again. Carry your propaganda and I was ordered to kill. It's me that kill everybody and say it's IPOB. And you tell me who is killing, is IPOB killing in the north and in the west? You know, the other time they flew a kite, saying that they have captured, they arrested one ESN in whether in Zamfara or Bauchi. He didn't hold any water. People laugh at them. They stopped. Otherwise, they would have been saying even the terrorist, is it Tuji Bello? They would have said it's a ESN. Ndiara. You know? So the whole killings that are going in the north, no, it's not ESN. Why not call it ESN? Anything that Hakburum in the ESN is by IPOB. Let me tell you, see Igbo people in the military. You people are ashamed. When you are there, you know, onye wete one ya, ine wete one neki anebu. Man, I go to the north, see how they protect their people. See how they protect their own people. Now tell me how wise you are. You are very stupid. You are simply stupid. The most gullible and stupid human being on earth is you. But you become slave in the hands of people. We should stop this stupidity. That is why we should revive, stimulate, and restore our mindsets, our brains, the frontal lobe. That is what the New Year message of Lolo Uchechi Kanu. And that is what I am elaborating, or I have elaborated. Thank you for listening. Biafra is our religion. Biafra is who we are. We have no other identity apart from Biafra. Therefore, we must continue in what we are doing. And Biafra will come. It doesn't matter what it takes. We will never stop. Thank you for listening. From me, Mazi Jonathan Chinedu, from here, it is simply good evening. Biafra,